Hello, welcome to the Power of Awareness Book Club. Welcome. I am streaming on YouTube and TikTok. YouTube is Prosperous Living with Toyia. TikTok, Prosperous Living with _T. So if you want to join the panel, you have to go over there to TikTok, where you can call in. We will be reading chapters 6, 7, and 8. Rather, we will be discussing chapters 6, 7, and 8. Come on in, join in if you want to hear the book discussion by Neville Goddard, The Power of Awareness. If you're familiar with the book or whether or not you are, you can come and listen, gather in, because we understand the way to a transformed life is to many things, right? We say it's one thing, and the key thing is decision, but what helps is awareness. Being aware of what you're thinking so you can change it, especially if what you're thinking is not in alignment with who you're deciding to be, right? So everything works together. The script, the Bible calls it repentance and forgiveness, right? Forgive just means to let go of a state, let go of the old, embrace the new, stop telling the same old story. So as we wait for everyone to come on in, I know I started a little later than usual. Found out that my daughter's last competition for her cheer competition was today, and it was near our home. Everything else, all of her other competitions are like Lake Zurich, and we were really far out away from our home. But her last competition was like only 5 minutes. It was up the road, so decided to go and support her on her last day. Hello, welcome. Hey, Andrea, welcome. Good morning. How are you? Hello, everyone. Welcome. Hello. Come on in. Let's get it popping. Let's get it started. Hey, good morning. Well, good afternoon to you. I know it's in the afternoon for you.
Yeah, you already know. We ahead
Yeah.
now.
It's a
We
later
already in the
start.
Absolutely. How was the function?
Oh, it's nice. She did really good. She really did. She's on the junior
Good.
varsity, her first year in high school. So she joined the
Good.
cheer team, and this was their last competition. Yeah.
That's dope. That's real dope.
Yeah. I said, why would I support something that enslaved you? The mind enslaves you. That's why you have to free your mind, and the rest will follow. Let me stop.
You already
The
know.
Bible was used as a tool of enslavery, but the book does not enslave you. People do. People do things to people, not right. And really, only people can do to you what you allow them to, based on what conditioning, programming, all of that good stuff. But hey, Holly.
Israel.
Yep. Welcome, everyone.
So I'm excited.
Yes.
I'm excited about this. These chapters. Ready for the breakdown, Ricky?
What are you interested in, Smirkio? Have you read the book? Hello, Whitney. Welcome. Hey, Ray, all day. Welcome. Let's see what they're talking about. We can always drop if they not,
Oh yeah, we got the drop ready.
On the up and up. You never know.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
How's it going, buddy?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
It's a little echoey.
Good afternoon. Or good morning, yes. Yes, I'm just interested in the mind.
Oh,
And
okay.
I actually was thinking about this yesterday. So, I'm kind of happy that you popped up on my timeline
Oh,
because I was
cool, cool.
was
Nice.
thinking about this yesterday.
Oh, nice, nice. So yeah, so we're reading. We have a book club that we meet every Saturday. I usually start at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. So we're a little late on today, and we're discussing the book that's behind me, The Power of Awareness by Neville Goddard. We're discussing chapters 6, 7, and 8. So that's basically what the discussion will be on today.
Okay, I never read that book, but I think I'm definitely going to.
Okay, cool,
Are you
cool,
familiar with
cool.
Neville Goddard?
I have heard of him, yes.
Okay.
Nice, nice. Yeah, I
Yep.
definitely recommend checking it out or catching
Very
up.
short, very easy
Hmm.
read. The chapters no longer than 2 or 3 pages, some even shorter than that.
Yeah, definitely gonna read that, and I'm but I was thinking just cause about my mind, like, and I just kind of just want to better it, and cause I feel like I'm still learning, still realizing, and still like I also like I don't know if I'm damaging my mind at times too. So it's like it's just a lot, but
Yeah, it comes when you just got to decide to change your thinking and be aware of what you're thinking. And we have to learn not to condemn ourselves or judge ourselves. We have a tendency to judge ourselves in a negative way. And I'll say start judging yourself from a more positive perspective.
yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. I just want to be just nothing but positivity, like mentally, and I just learning to be very careful, like with my words, and like being very careful what I think, what I dislike, anything negative, like, you know, it's like I could try to be careful of it because it's like I feel like, I believe that, you could speak something and kind of like get that.
Yeah, that's what the power is. The power is in the mind. The creative power in man is the mind. And so our words create our reality. Our thoughts, our intentions, our ideas bring about the circumstances that we experience on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, I was thinking that too, and another thing I was thinking about is like, because I smoke, right? And I don't know if that's ruining my mind, but at times it feels like it's elevating my mind. So it's like, I don't really know if it's really messing me up.
I don't believe so. It's if you think it is. As a man thinks in his heart, so is he. So if you think that it's wrong to do so, if you think it's going to have some negative impact upon you, then it will. But if you decide that it won't, then it won't. A lot of people use, that herb to, like you said, elevate, to become more aware, to get quiet, to get still, and pay attention to the mind. So
Yeah,
those
like,
times that you find that you're deciding to experience that, pay attention to what you're thinking. Just use it as a key for awareness, not to judge what you're thinking, not to condemn, not to be critical of it, but just to pay attention to it. And then if you find what you're thinking isn't beneficial to you, change it. That's it. We want to make it difficult. We think it got to be hard. It's not. It's not. Go ahead, A-Town, what you want to say.
No, no, you're on point. Definitely. And that's one of actually the chapter that we're actually about to discuss is attention.
Yep,
So,
yep, yep.
definitely, stick
It,
around.
it, it falls right into that. Yep, yep. And then we have Cheryl up, and because we're going to get into it. Hello, Cheryl. How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
I'm great, great.
Excellent. How are
Um,
you?
Good. I really love this chapter. I feel like it's the cornerstone of all the teachings. It's funny like reading this with people and really, kind of thinking about it and reflecting on it more. Like I'm getting so much more out of it with the group.
I got a question.
Sure.
So, what do you recommend I start with for like just for like completely brand new when I'm at a place of like awareness, but like feeling like fear or like I don't know, like kind of just realizing truths that make me feel negative. or like I don't know. I don't know how I feel right now, but like
Okay. Do you have a religious background or?
I do.
Okay, so Neville Goddard is one of my favorite authors. He's actually the one that helped me understand biblical principles, not from the religious aspect, but from the psychological aspect. Reminded us that all is mind, right? So his book, Your Faith is Your Fortune, is a great book for those who are deconstructing from Christianity, and he breaks down all of the Christian teachings, doctrine, and gives it to you from a psychological perspective.
Okay, yeah, that's definitely gonna help me because
And
I
then
actually
this
feel
book as well, the power
yeah
in this book as well. So that book and then follow up with this book would, and there are a
because
lot of
yeah.
authors out there. You have Dr. Joseph Murphy, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind is a great read. You have Florence Scovel Shinn. She's also a great metaphysician where she has a book called The Game of Life and How to Play It, and also Your Words Are Your Wand. And I know you're talking about you're realizing that your thoughts are creative. It's what you're thinking about. Yeah. So those three, and there are others. I'm not going to say there is just down to those three, but there are plenty out there. Is really what resonates with you. But those would be my go-to authors: Florence Scovel Shinn, Neville Goddard. He's number one. Him and Dr. Joseph Murphy are like neck and neck. Because Dr. Joseph Murphy also comes from a biblical perspective. Now, if you're looking for non-biblical, you have like Dr. Joe Dispenza. You have some videos on YouTube. You have Bruce Lipton. I don't know if he has any writings. I don't know if he has any books, but some of his videos I've seen. Reverend Ike, if you are familiar with him, he comes from a church perspective, but he teaches it also from a metaphysical lens. So it depends on what you resonate with.
Yeah, definitely resonating with this book right here.
Okay.
And it's interesting you say that because I need to know like psychologically, what's going on because I feel like I'm being attacked psychologically,
Okay.
So it's like just like I don't know, or like psychologically people try to like make me think something or feel something like I don't know, like so it's like
Okay. So yeah, like A-Town said, you could take a listen to what we discussed in this book. If you have any questions regarding the book, because I do want to keep us on platform, and this particular live is about this book and how it has transformed our understanding, our life, and our direction in life, our desires in life, and how to realize those dreams, those intentions, whatever it is that we're wanting in this experience. So, gonna get started. And the first,
Thanks for coming up, Smirkio.
yes, thank you for joining us. And so, we're starting with chapter 6, and like A-Town said, the name of the chapter is Attention. Did you want to start, A-Town? I'll let
I
you
was
go
going to
with
let
your
Cheryl
notes.
go ahead and start. She
You're gonna
already
let Cheryl.
popping up. Yeah, for sure. I was I was kind of waiting for her to see what her share
Okay.
was.
Well, I really, like I said, when I read this chapter, just a lot really, like it, I guess in a reflective way, like a lot was showing me like the importance of where I'm putting my thoughts and how I kind of going back to last chapter or two where Neville talked about we're either investing or spending, like just seeing like I really have a lot of undisciplined thoughts that are connected to a self-concept that I don't really want anymore. And so I really liked how he pointed out how, I think it's the first sentence, your attention is forceful in proportion to the narrowness of its focus. That is, when it is obsessed with a single idea or sensation. And then a few sentences down, the desire which realizes itself is always a desire upon which attention is exclusively concentrated. And I also thought like how feeling ties into that too, like not, emotional, but like the belief, and so I'm catching more like when I'm having disempowering thoughts, and just how subtle they kind of creep in, that, watching the gate, the enemy at the gate, kind of, if you use the Bible reference. So I really, this chapter was really self-reflect, or revelatory, it was revealed some things to me about myself as to where maybe I don't have the strongest practice right now of being aware. So I got a lot from this.
Yes, yes, yes. So I am on YouTube, and one of the I guess it's a gentleman, but says, since coming to Earth, I like how they phrased this statement they made. Since coming to Earth, I can't connect with a single human. You are very interesting beings trapped in physical bodies, forgetting you're actually energy contained within a simulation and its source. Yep, that's about sums it up. That's who we are, right? Energy trapped in form, right?
That's pretty accurate.
Yes, yes. But yes, sure, I love that. Yes, attention, attention, attention. As Neville would put it, attention is the sap of life. Your attention to a thing. And I know we want to say it's our emotions, it's our, we want to say it's everything but our attention. It's our focus to a thing that makes it expands. That's why you're never to fight against things, because the minute you fight against evil, what? You expand it. So I had use ChatGPT to break down two verses that appear to be contradictory in the Bible, right? It says, resist the devil and he shall flee for you. And then it says, resist not evil, right? And so when we see evil and devil together, we make them synonymous, right? And so it would appear that those scriptures were contradictory to one another. When it says, oh, resist the devil, and you're telling me to resist the devil and you will flee from me. But then you're also telling me to resist not evil. Wait a minute. Hold up. What's going on here, right? Because we understand that the devil is doubt, it's the thought, and evil is the manifestation of that thought. That's why it's not contradictory, right? Because the moment you doubt, you create the evil, right? So the doubt is the thought, is the creator, right? The creative power in man is the thought, is the mind, and then the actual expression of that thought is deemed good or evil, right? That's what it says, resist not evil. The thing you resist is the thing that what? Persists. So you make it real when you resist it, when you fight it. That's why you're not supposed to be fighting. So everyone, they want to tell you, oh, the battle, we're here to fight, we got to struggle, no. The script tells you stand still and see the salvation. The battle was never yours. You were never the struggle. You were never the strain. And, I love to listen to others that talk about this truth. And so are you all familiar with, I'm sure you are. I think we talked about it last time. Iyanla Vanzant. She has her new, series where she's reflecting back on her past series. So her first series was, Iyanla Fix My Life. And now it's called The Inside Fix. So basically, she's going back to past episodes that she did in the first series and looking at it with new eyes. But what I find interesting for most people that teach this truth, they still promote the struggle. And so I was listening to her interview she did with Carlos King. And they were talking about, the struggle of it all, right? And so she said, I teach universal truth. I teach universal principles. And so my thought was, well, what universal principle talk about struggle? Because I know the 7 laws of the 7 universal laws. And then one of them about struggle. So what universal law teaches struggle? There isn't one. That's a cultural thing. Go ahead, A-Town.
No, I was going to just say that's interesting.
Yeah, because their thing was, because we're now in a time where a lot of people came out of, like, people my age or around my age, right? Because she's like 20 years old, my senior, so she's 70. So she would be like a mother to me, right? Her generation and my generation, maybe we started off at the bottom, right? And now we've realized a pretty good life, right? Like we don't have to like really struggle for money. And then we birth children from that state of not really having to struggle anymore. And now our children, because they don't know a life of struggle, it's like we need to make them know that life though. So her thing was, I'm rich, my children not. I was like, damn, that's effed up. Because how you rich and your children not rich? Like, isn't the whole point of making it is so that your children don't have to struggle to get there too? But they were saying, because he was telling his sisters, and then he was like, you're compensating for you not having it, so you're trying to give it to your kids. Okay. Why is that wrong? Like, why is it wrong not to want your children to struggle the way you did, to not have to look at life from a place of lack? I guess I just can't wrap my mind around those who're supposed to know the power of mind, the universal principles, and still want to teach struggle. It boggles my mind. I understand it's cultural, I get it, but we're supposed to be in the world but not of the world, right? If we're living from the universal principles, we're supposed to know that everything is already done for us. We're supposed to be in a place of receptivity. We're supposed to just learn how to transform our thinking to see what's already there. Like, we're not creating anything new. We're not making wealth. Wealth already exists. We're not creating abundance. Abundance is, right? But that's just something I was thinking about. That was what and along with power of awareness, right? To be aware of your power to realize the life you want without struggle. Go ahead, A-Town. Did you have anything about this chapter?
Yeah, absolutely. Even just going off of what Cheryl had mentioned, where she was saying, as far as like just being like the cornerstone to, get stepping into this new reality. She had mentioned the word, just feeling, and it said, deliberate. You must deliberately focus your attention on the feeling of your wish fulfilled. So, there's this distinction between, for me, just in terms of how I'm supposed to represent this newness, for me, how, what's the characteristics, what's that life like, in order to direct my attention to it. But also being able to know that, where was it at? Just, I guess in every phase, there's a newness. So there's always a sense of forgetting those things that are behind us. So I guess that was a little, like, okay, so there's always, at every level, there's going to be something new and then something to forget, I suppose. So, just being able to kind of like, mold that around in terms of just getting clarity on that, it definitely made better sense in terms of just how to breathe this life. It's not like you said, it's not a destination. It's a way of life. So just being able to understand that a little bit more correctly. So yeah, so this chapter was the bomb. I liked it.
Great. That's beautiful. Yep. He says the power of attention is the measure of your inner force. Concentrated observation of one thing shuts out other things and causes them to disappear. That's why you don't have to do that whole denial thing. Because the moment you give your attention to what you want, the other thing automatically dissipates. It disappears. So I don't have to negate a thing, because the moment I give my attention to the new thing, the other thing is automatically negated. It's automatic. So just learn to just focus on what's wanted instead of going through this process of having to talk about what you don't want. Unnecessary. Because the moment you give your attention to the thing wanted, that's what shows up. That's how it shows up. And so we have, is that how you say Nagay? 1970. Hello, welcome. You can unmute. We're on chapter 6, Mia. Are you there? Is that Ngay?
Oh, yeah, it's in God.
Ngay, hello, how are you?
Finding yourself.
Great. Are you familiar with this book?
I've listened to some of his books on audio.
Okay.
I'm not 100% know about this book, but
Hmm.
I'm just here to listen, basically.
Okay. Did you have anything you want to add?
At the moment, no.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, we'll go to Gigi and then to Mia. Good morning, Bestie. How are you?
Good morning, Bestie. How you doing?
I'm great. I'm great. Thank you.
Yeah. This was a good chapter. About your attitude, which is really your assumptions. That's what it's talking about. At least that's what I got from it, you know.
Oh, we're on
When
attention,
you
not attitude. Attention.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
That's okay. Chapter 6.
I gotta go back. Hang on. Yeah, I've been like over being an overachiever with this book, just like I did with Dr. Joseph Murphy's book.
You're so silly.
It's like I gotta tell myself, girl, put it down. We're supposed to like, and then the rest of me's like, no, keep reading it, keep going. I want to know more and more and more. Yeah, whatever you give your attention to, wherever your focus is, that's what you're going to see. That's what you're going to experience. Like you were just saying earlier. I mean, if you're focusing on the struggle, then you're going to get more of that. That's why I was like, struggle, huh? What? I mean, people's like, oh, you have to struggle to be a singer. You have to struggle to be an actor. You have to struggle. Oh, I don't know what you're talking about. I never adopted that. Even before I even knew this, I never ever called myself a struggling actor or a struggling musician.
Good.
On the contrary.
Great.
Called myself a prospering musician, a prospering actor,
Yes.
A successful one, things like that, because, easy, instead of struggling, it's easy.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I get like auditions, and at times I didn't even have to audition. I'd get cast automatically. Like my agent would be like, oh, they just saw your picture and hired you. I'm like, oh, okay. Nice. And some of my actor friends would be like, why is it so easy for you? And I'm like, well, at the time I was like, I don't know. But now I know why. It's because I never adopted struggle. I hated that word. Even as a young kid, I never liked that word.
Yes.
Learning to an instrument, learning something new, that is a struggle. Why does it have to be a struggle? And the moment I just decided it's not going to be a struggle, then it won't. So the feeling is just, knowing that, and just sticking to that knowing. Yeah. It's like developing a habit. Mm-hmm. You're developing the habit of the you that you want to experience. Yes. So let's say before it was struggle, okay, and now you're like, okay, no more struggle. Everything's easy. So then you stick with the habit that everything's easy. Oh, it's my job is easy. If you're a musician or an actor, it's easy. Learning a new instrument is easy. Writing a new song is so easy. Playing in front of people is easy. And then you adopt that, and as you begin to say that, you begin to feel it, you begin to imagine it, and then you'll start experiencing it, that it's easy. Yeah. So I love that he used the scripture here of like, that a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways, meaning that if one minute you're saying it's easy, and then you go, oh, it's a struggle. Oh, it's easy. Oh, it's a struggle. Oh, it's easy. Oh, it's a struggle. Oh, it's easy. Oh, it's a struggle. I mean, it's like, even by me saying that, I'm like literally swinging back and forth like a pendulum,
Yep.
Like a swing. So it's like, well, which is it? And I can hear God up there saying, or well, I know God lives in us, but you'll say, well, which one do you want? You want easy, or you want struggle? But see, he says yes to everything. So he goes, yes, easy, yes, struggle. Yes, easy. Yes, struggle. Yes, he is. So it's the pathway you're deciding to take. So go with easy. Go with prosperous. If you want to, go with easy. Go with prosperous. Go with fun. Go with whatever it is you desire. Why does it have to be a struggle?
Why does it have to be a struggle? Yeah, it's just that conditioning. It is just that conditioning. It's just like, Everyone think it's par for the course. It's like, well, if I had to struggle for it, you should have to. Why?
Yeah,
Why?
why?
Because your children must, because people think that you can only discover yourself through struggle. No, you discover yourself through creation, through creativity,
Yeah.
through trying things out, right? What we call trials. Trials is not to see if something wrong or right, it's to prove what is. That's the whole point of the trial. To prove something to yourself, to prove to yourself that you're capable. Then there's
Right.
nothing past your ability to materialize or bring something into your experience.
Right.
And you won't know it unless you allow yourself to see yourself with it, see yourself
Right.
be it. Yeah, but because he says it here, your imagination is you yourself, and the world as your imagination sees it is the real world.
Right.
That's the real world.
Exactly. So it's and if okay, to get kind of let's go to the script. Where does in the script does it say we have to struggle?
Because you know what? Because people say in this world you shall have tribulation, right? In this world you will have, but that's the world before enlightenment. Yes,
right.
And when you're asleep, all hell is let loose, right?
Right.
You're struggling with everything. You're competing with everything. You don't remember anything. You don't know who you are, right? You lost in the sauce. And I was listening to this one guy on Instagram, and he was talking about people not understanding being a Christian. And so he talks about the Damascus experience with Paul, right? And he talks about, Jesus telling Paul, how long are you going to kick against the prick, and how he gets blinded or whatever. But this is the part he says that Christians miss. That Jesus tells Paul that you will suffer before my name's sake.
Right.
See, here's the thing with the gospel writers, right? Those who translated the Bible. Suffer in scripture only means to allow. You will allow all things to happen because of my namesake. And we understand name means nature, not in the name of Jesus, in the nature of the I am. So, yes, you will allow all things to be because of the nature of the I am. But when you don't know how to decode scripture, you think, oh, Jesus was telling Paul, you're going to suffer, you're going to have to experience hardship because of me. But that goes against script when script says that it is the way of the transgressor who is hard. I make your crooked path straight. Take my yoke upon you and learn of me, because my yoke is easy and light. So how was it easy and light? And all of a sudden, when Jesus told you to learn of him and take his yoke upon you, and it was going to be light and easy, why now he changing the game and telling Paul, but no, you're going to suffer hardship now? So is the Bible being contradictory? You know what I'm saying? That's why a lot of people didn't rock with the Pauline doctrine with the Gospels, because they thought that Pauline doctrine was contradictory.
Yeah.
But that's because these translators, they was playing with the words.
Yeah.
They were playing with the words, because when we hear suffer, we only think negativity. We don't look at suffer. Like it says, suffer the children to come unto me. Allow the children. Allow the children to come to me. See, but we only look at suffer as a one thing and not the true meaning of it.
Wow, that's deep.
Yep.
That's actually, I like that. I like that you dissected that, because sometimes we just gotta dissect it.
You gotta decode scripture. That's why you just can't look at first glance. It seemed like, damn. What
And I'm like,
what's going on?
I ain't suffering crap. What you talking about? What you talking about, Willis?
I'm like, this is on line with the other scripture, the rest of scripture, But religion will have you think everything has to be a struggle, and even when we look at our society, and I look at society from not where we are now, but like I tell you, I watched the Gilded Age, right? And all of the wealthy people, right? The whole reason for them to be wealthy is to live a life of ease. Was that not the whole purpose of wealth? To get other people to do shit you didn't want to do? Right? Yeah. So what did they do? They hired people to cook for them, clean for them, sew for them, do everything for them. And all they did was do it right. They let the men make the money, and the women just sit around and look pretty. And they scoffed at the thought of a woman ever doing anything laborious, right? Because labor was for the poor. Labor was never for the rich. Was never for the wealthy. Labor ain't never been for the wealthy. Labor has always been for the poor. But yeah, but I'm gonna let I'm sorry, Gigi, I'm gonna let Mia get in here and get a toxic.
Definitely.
Okay, thank you, hon. Hey Mia, you can unmute.
Hey, I'm sorry. We're on chapter 6.
Yep. How you doing?
Attention, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
So I love this chapter. And it kind of reminded me, like, I went back to the chapter on desire, because everything kind of ties in, and like of knowing who you are. Because if you don't know who you are, you're not going to follow everything. So attention. A lot of people don't understand that you've been doing that, and your attention is it's everything. And what you pay attention to and how you work your attention is so powerful. And I love what he said about you have to kind of train your attention, and the little exercise about kind of thinking about your day in reverse. I really like that. I'm going to try that because I do a lot of thinking as I fall asleep about kind of my desires and all those things. But I am going to try that exercise just to train your attention, because it's really powerful. And a lot of people don't understand that you literally, when you're worrying about something, like we've been trained and we know how to worry, right? We got that down, right? You are a professional. We have been professional worriers, that we have learned to worry about things, about outcomes that we don't want. So just flipping your attention to just really thinking and focusing your attention on the outcomes you want. Like literally not worrying about things going wrong, but focusing your attention on those positive outcomes, those desirable outcomes. And I love what he said in the desire chapter of, from the Bible, like if you don't know that you are he, you'll die in your sins. And if you really don't understand the context and the words and what that really means, then you're going to miss it. Like, oh, I'm going to die in my sin. I'm going to go to hell. I'm going to burn. Oh my God. No, if you don't know who you are, if you don't know you are everything that can make everything happen for yourself, you are going to miss the mark, not reach your highest potential, not get everything you want. So you're going to leave this place with all your sins. You're not going to do nothing you need to do because you didn't believe you could.
Yeah.
And I love that. Because so much we don't believe in ourselves. And it's so weird, speaking, and there's such a stigma against believing in yourself as the power that can make everything happen. No, it's not you. You got to do this and pray to this and do this and hope this and beg for this, when you just really need to believe that you are you are the operant power that can make everything happen. And if you don't believe that, you're going to die in all your sins because you're going to miss all the marks. You are not going to get the desires of your heart because you don't believe you deserve them. You're going to be filled with doubt. You're going to pay attention to all the things that you don't want. And, I've been victim to that. Think about how much you sit around, or in the past you sat around and were like, man, I hope I get that job. Or, man, I hope this don't happen. Or I hope the COVID don't get me. Or I hope this don't happen. Oh, you're literally sitting around paying attention to all undesirable outcomes.
Yeah.
And then you're just creating that. So I really, really, really love that chapter, and how just everything kind of ties in to just being aware of who you are and kind of working that power and honing into that. So I really love that the attention that you really have to really control that. Like you need to be in control of what you're paying attention to. And we always talk about the algorithm. Be in control of your algorithm, your spiritual algorithm. Be in control of what goes into that. If you're sitting around a group of people and they start getting to talking about slavery, put up your church finger. Sometimes I keep ear pods in my purse so I can just put my ear pods in and sit amongst y'all and just listen to the power of awareness on my audiobook while y'all sitting up there talking about whatever. But you better learn to control what you pay attention to, because I don't let nothing in that I don't want.
Yep. 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 So I've done the exercise too. I've done it a few times, not regularly, but and especially whenever I read the book, I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna do that right now. I don't even wait till the end of the day. I'm just like, I'm gonna start from now and work my way back until yesterday morning, and and just see how much I can remember of what took place, right? And you recognize your memory ain't as sharp as you think it is, because you read stuff out and you're like, oh, wait a minute. I did that before I did that. Oh, I did that before. Oh, because you try to go back, not try to, as you go back, then you start to realize that stuff will come to your remember when you put something before it. And then you be like, oh, no, that's not what happened. I actually did this first. I actually did that, right? I actually did that last before I did that next, right? Yeah, so it's pretty cool. Just have fun with it. Don't make it too big of a deal. Be easy with yourself, as they say. Be easy with yourself.
And you hear a lot of people talking about, oh, those thoughts that come in, those thoughts aren't mine. No, you just ain't controlling your muscle. You just
They just want to blame something else. Everybody want a scapegoat.
Everybody want to blame somebody, and you to blame. You the perpetrator.
I'm like, who's having a thought? If it ain't you thinking it, who's having it? How many voices you got in your head?
You and you and
you and you and you and you and you and you and you and you.
So yeah, people.
Your multiple personalities is all you.
Like, diagnose yourself. It's you.
You all turn them into a choir and have them all agree. All your multiple personalities.
Hey, Latoxic. Hey, friend. How are you?
Hello. How are you doing?
This is my girl. She moderating on both platforms. She got me on TikTok and on YouTube. I'm like, let's go, girl.
Come on, Tomb Raider, double moderation.
Oh, you guys make me happy. I sorry, I was a little late today because I was on the phone with Mom. But we're back. I just wanted to say, the conversation about struggle and how it's hard for parents sometimes, not even just parents, but it's hard for like caregivers, whatever, to like help see a new life or new vision for their children that doesn't involve struggle. Mm-hmm. And I was just thinking about how that. Sorry, this is a little bit sidetracked from the book. I have the book too.
Because I was sidetracked. I don't want to brought it up, but go ahead.
It just made me think about how it's directly related to like not wanting to distance ourselves from, ancestors or from like, the history of, specifically talking about.
Oh man. Sorry, you paused there for a minute.
My bad, I got a phone call.
Okay.
Very short. I think it is hard for people to look back and see what people have gone through in the past and still say, they went through that and I don't want my children to have to go through that. And they shouldn't have to go, my kids shouldn't have to go through that. My, whomever should not have to go through that. Mm-hmm. It's hard for people to distance themselves from that. They feel like they're like betraying something in the past.
Yeah, because we really think struggle builds character.
Right.
It brings the character of struggle. That's what it builds. It builds the character of, I always got to fight for what I want. Like, what?
They think that, but it's a whole bunch of people flourishing who have never struggled in their lives. Okay? Like, it's not something that is like necessary in order to move forward in any meaningful way. We just put this value on it because we're trying to honor our past. But at the same time, it's like, we need to figure out new ways.
Yeah, like when you all talk about, I think he was the one at the point that reminded us of Jeff Bezos. Like his family was rich.
Yes.
Like now they rich. Like now we're rich. Now they taking over the world now. But he didn't start from nothing. I'm not saying you can't start from nothing, right? Because we have examples. And I was talking to my husband today when we was at my daughter's champion her competition, and I was like, it's interesting how so I'm gonna talk about race here because we know it's a construct, but I'm just for this example, this illustration, right? Whiteness is depicted as ease, black is depicted as struggle, right? When white people win, everyone wins. When white people are struggling, oh, it's just that white person that struggles. But when black people struggle, all black people struggle. And when black people win, they're the exception to the rule. That they're in another basket. They're not representative of the whole when it comes to success and ease, right? They're represented as it's the whole, not the part. But when it comes to whiteness, if they're struggling, if they do something that in the eyesight of society is deemed as, oh, that's just them. That's that one person. They don't represent all of us. But when it comes to success and ease and comfort and ownership, now it's representative of the whole. When we know all white folks ain't rich, just like we know all black folks ain't poor. It's like
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to get at. It's like people don't. That's why the Gilded Age show is so important, because it shows what other people were actually, black people specifically, were actually living like in those times. Certain black people, right? So, whatever. My point is to say that there's this whole, because of religion, demonizing of ease and appreciation of struggle. And I'm thankful that Neville is like helping us realize it's all in your mind.
Yep. And you're right, because when you think about the church, right? Who has a life of ease? The pastor.
Come on.
Because they're the ones getting your 10% while you go out there and work, and you bring these 10% to the house of the Lord. Who living a life of ease, who ain't got to go out there and work for the man and work for a job and try to earn their living by the sweat of their brow? They earning their living off the sweat of your brow.
Tax free, mind you.
See how the Jedi mind tricks? It's like when you sit back and think, but we understand it's the Matrix, right? Yeah. It's part of the experience. So not really here to like judge it, just to cast a light on it, right? Cast a spotlight. Like things to make you go, Just want you to use some critical thinking there. Just think about what the world you're seeing, the world that you have come out of, right? Like you come out of Babylon, right? Come out of the beast.
Yes.
And command it. If you weren't to condemn it, you were to command the beast, to get the beast to labor for you and not you for it.
Period.
I love when you say that. You say it so good. Period. Girl, I gotta put you on the last person. Put that voice on. Would you record your voice? Period. I'll be like, let's go, girl.
Can I add one more thing?
Sure.
This is about the book for real. This is about the book. So there's a sentence that I highlighted, which I think someone might have already talked about, but it says, "You are the virtue of the power of your imagination, the master of your fate." And it just reminded me of that poem. I'm a soarer. I'm somebody's soarer. And we learned when I was pledging that poem Invictus. And in that poem, it just talks about how like you are the person that's controlling this shit. Like this is all you. Like it's all about how you like you are the person who's in charge of your fate and what happens in your life and how things go. And it just, at the time, I was very religious, so I didn't understand it from that point of view. It seemed like a very anti-God kind of poem. But now looking back, seeing the words "master of your fate" in this book, it's made me realize, oh wow, like that was really what they were really talking about, was your awareness, your mind.
Wow.
So anyway, just wanted to say
everything comes full circle, right?
Yes, it does.
Beautiful. And so we have Key on the panel. Hey, friend, how are you? You can unmute.
Hey, T.
Hey,
well,
Key.
Good afternoon.
I know, right? Good
afternoon. It's 12 o'clock already.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody. I love chapter 6. I really did. It made something click. You know how like for the past couple of weeks or maybe even longer, you have been referring to how like all the nervous system talk. And I'm not gonna lie, I was guilty of that too. I'm so ashamed.
Don't be ashamed.
I would be like, oh, it has to pass my nervous system first. But after reading this chapter and listening to you, like I understand now that that's really akin to religious people like blaming the devil. Like they be like, oh, my nervous system made me do it. And it sounds like the devil, made me do it.
Geraldine.
Right. And it would be all this talk about trauma. But the bottom line is that if you have fully integrated a thought, then your nervous system wouldn't matter because the body follows the mind. And that's what this chapter taught me. It taught me that my attention is power. Neville never said anything about you have to regulate first, you got to calm your reaction, or even you have to heal first. He simply said attention is power. The mind does not follow the body follows your attention. Like, and so I realize now the mind is the leader. And it really helped me like realize that my power doesn't come from regulating my reactions, which I had been doing. That's what I thought I had to do. It was just me deciding, where do I focus my attention? So I got a quick story.
All right.
So I got caught out there yesterday. Oh my God, I don't know what I was thinking, but my dog was going crazy. And I'm like, well, let me just take you for a quick walk around the park. And we both in Chicago, it's freezing cold temps. So I decided to just go a quick loop around the park, and it was dark. No one was outside. It was like maybe 5 o'clock. And then it just got bitterly cold. And I didn't know if I was gonna make it home because my legs like started feeling like blocks of ice.
Wow.
So of course I got scared, and my quote unquote nervous system went haywire. But then I remembered, make a decision. So I made one. I'm like, I will safely make it home. And so I imagined being in a hot sauna, and I focused my attention and I stayed there, and I didn't have to monitor or argue with it or even check. And then halfway home, my dog, his name's Cujo, he started limping because his poor paws got cold. So I even had to pick him up and carry him home, right? So, but I made it home because I assumed a reality and I focused my attention. And I really felt like this chapter, because I had read the chapter like right before this, it helped me to safely get home with my dog.
Yes.
So, yep, so just wanted to share.
Yes. Because, as you were talking on nervous, I'm like, how do you know it was your nervous system? And like, we just give stuff labels, right? We just give stuff names, and it sound good, right? Because when Neville talks about a surrender, not struggle, right? All that he always tells you that life is not a struggle, it's surrender. So if you're struggling, you're not surrendering. You're not giving way for the coming of the Lord. You're trying to force a way. You're trying to make a way. But the way was already there. The road was already clear. The way is already done. I get it. We're conditioned to doing. Now you have to recondition or assume the position of being. So when we have been conditioned to the doing of a thing, when we from our logical perspective don't see anything happening, we think nothing's happening. But we know spirit is never at rest, ever. I don't sleep nor slumber. I'm always working. My Father works and I too work because I can only do what I see the Father doing. And the Father is forever being because the Father is I am. Not will be, but is. And so it really does come to a coming, as they say, a coming to Jesus moment. Come and let us reason together. Let me reason with myself. That's why you really have to take emotions out of the picture. And there's a reason why we have a mind, because we're to use it, right? This is why you would hear our the male side of us, our gender, when we talk about gender, female, male, right? They say, well, I'd rather have a man run a company because he's not going to be all emotional, right? And I don't want a woman to run a company because she's going to be led by her emotions. And we think being led by emotions means being led by the heart. Not the same. Being led by your emotions is not being led by the heart. Because see, the heart empathizes and the heart knows. The emotions are like roller coasters. They're unstable, they're unsteady. It's like water. That's why it's compared to water. That's why you're told that he leads you by the still, beside still waters, right? You want to steady. You want to be steady, not like this. You want stillness, right? And it's not saying that the male gender is not emotional, because we know that they are. And it's not that women can't leave from, the mind, because we know it can, right? But we try to make that distinction to show you the masculine energy and the feminine energy. And when they work as a union, it is heart-centered. It's not emotional, and it's not intellectual. It's knowing. And that's where we have to get to that place where we know, instead of trying to intellectualize and emotionalize. No, we are to know-alize. Let me stop making the words, but you know what I mean. Yep, walking on water. That's it. Walk on water.
For the panel, just in terms of what kind of popped out to you guys when it reads, when you attain control of the internal direction of your attention, you will no longer stand in shallow water, but will launch out into the deep of life. What kind of marinated, or what kind of interpretation did that kind of shed light on, in terms of the practicality of what that is, if anybody wanted to share?
Yep.
Can you repeat that one more time, A-Town?
Oh, I was
What's
going.
that?
Read that. Read it one more time? And what part of the chapter?
That was the last part of.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Okay.
No, you're right. When you attain control, the last paragraph actually, when you attain control of the internal direction of your attention, you will no longer stand in shallow water, but will launch out into the deep of life. You will walk in the assumption of the wish fulfilled as a foundation more solid than even earth, or solid even than earth.
Yeah, so let's go to Cheryl, and then we'll make our way around. Do you have anything regarding that last paragraph?
Well, I just thought that would be a cool place to be, like to walk in that consistently. Because there are days when, I'm starting to feel more confident and empowered, but then, those other days. So just the consistency is what I think, that I really like how Neville uses water, tide, drift. I like the way he uses that. So that just feels like a promise that I look forward to.
Absolutely. Beautiful, beautiful. Yes, go ahead, Mia, then we'll go to Gigi.
I took that as, when you don't know who you are, you kind of have a shallow involvement in your life and in your experience in the world. But once you know who you are, and that you are the operant power and you are the creator of all things, then you can have a really involved experience in this world, and you no longer have a shallow experience in this world, as in things happen to you and happen for you, and that you are the operant power. So you just no longer have that shallow experience in the world, and that you can be the ocean of the world. So that's what I took from that.
Beautiful. Gigi.
Hi, yes. That to me is like more like internal, like if you're kind of letting your thoughts run wild, as opposed to taking control of which thoughts you want to experience and which ones you want to not experience. You focus your attention on what you want to experience. So the more you like keeping your eye on the prize, the more you stay there, the more you'll get away from the shallowness of the doubt and fear and all that baloney, and you're going into the deep of your wish fulfilled, of the things that you want to experience and the things that you desire. It's kind of like when Jesus was walking on water, and I forgot which disciple it was that joined him, and as long as he kept his eye on Jesus, he was walking on water, no problem, until he freaked out and was like, what the freak? I'm walking on water. And then he fell and he drowned. And then Jesus was like, oh, ye of little faith. Had you just kept your eye on me, you would have just walked on water. And what that translates to me is, if you just would have kept your eye on the prize of already, or prizes, because we want more than one.
Right, right.
Let's be real, the eye on the prizes. And you just, you stay there. That's where your attention is, that's where your assumption is, and you have it already. That it belongs to you, it's yours. You don't worry about the shallow bullshit that's going on. You don't worry about anything. You're focused on that. So I mean, it's deep, don't get me wrong. I mean, I can talk about this paragraph for hours, but we don't have that much time.
Right. Well, right. We're gonna go to a little toxic and then key.
Yeah, that's what I got from it.
Yep. Thank you. That's it. We all dropping it. Hey, little toxic. You have anything on the last paragraph?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
I was trying to
That's okay. Because I mean, what more can you say? Hey, Key, did you have a perspective?
Yeah, I had to read that line a few times. I said, well, we all know that shallow water is safety, right? So that's why we all feel comfortable and safe jumping in shallow water. But that deep water, you gotta assume some stuff and you're without checking. And you don't keep looking back for proof. You jump in the water, and it wasn't because you're fearless, it's because your attention is just so focused on what you want. And I think that's, to me, that's how it resonated with me.
Beautiful. So my takeaway from that paragraph just means you will be certain. Like I said, you won't doubt. You will be certain about your wish being fulfilled. You won't question it, which means you will be still and you will know. That's what I took from it. And so, with that being said, we'll go over to
Chapter 7.
Yes, chapter 7.
Attitude.
Yes. Did you want to say anything on the paragraph that you asked? You formed the question. Did you have anything you want to?
Well, I was just wanting to get some type of, I wanted to get all that, really.
Okay.
In terms of just that perspective, people shared in the chat, in terms of just, just bringing that enlightenment. I definitely like what Keith said, just knowing that, there is no doubt, there is no double-mindedness. So, all of those great shares. So,
yeah,
for sure. Absolutely.
You're just certain.
Absolutely.
You just know. You just know that you know that you know. And then no circumstances is going to thwart that knowing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, now we can jump to 7, attitude. Who wants to jump attitude off?
Go ahead. Cheryl, you want to start?
Sure. What, attitude to me is, when Neville talks about, our assumptions determining, not just what we see, but also what we do, like what experiences we come. It kind of goes back again, like being aware of where I am, not just with my thoughts, but like the belief behind them, or like, because noticing more like, is a thought more empowering or disempowering to me? And that is, intellectual, but there's also like an energy behind that. So, and like one example, I was having, just someone commented negative on something I commented on TikTok, and just like how triggered I got, right? Mm-hmm. And I would, because, hurt my feelings. But then I thought, you know what? That does not have to, like, I saw in the moment, like I was allowing that to disempower me. And I was kind of following, well, why am I feeling that way? And then it was like, well, because that person, because implying that I'm dumb. So, but they can't make me feel dumb if I don't, and so going back, okay, I feel ashamed that I put myself out there, embarrassed. So, just really, my belief system. And I really liked when I think that story Neville's sharing about the woman who was a designer, worked with the designer as his wife.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly. Yeah. And I could so identify with the first paragraph, where I think he's on the second or on the second page of my book or the third page of the chapter, where he says, there is no doubt but that she was mentally arguing with the producer and talking about the mental conversations that we have in our head. And I just I argue a lot in my head. And again, it's making me think, well, I'm really approaching life from a fighting attitude, or from feeling like I don't deserve to be here. I have to fight, and so, it's just really getting clear on that it goes back to self-concept, and really starting to become aware of making a choice, deciding, I think he said, I want to decide what I want my self-concept to be now. I don't want to just live from that place of what, I felt my childhood told me I was, or, past relationships or whatever. So I think trying to step more in that empowered decision, I get to decide what I want. And I've just really starting to catch the thoughts and the feelings behind that. So that's just kind of, the whole mood and feeling assumption, that is really important to creating, to conscious creating.
Yeah, that example or that success story showed us that everything is just happening based on your assumptions about it. So when he gives us the experiment in the first paragraph, he says what they learned is what you see when you look at something depends not so much on what is there as on the assumption you make when you look. So you are the one collapsing the waveforms into particles into form, right? So it was her thoughts about about the designer not liking her caused the expression of the designer not liking her. Had she had different thoughts, she would have had a different reality. And the moment she decided to think differently about her interaction with her employer, that's when it changed. And we think it has to be some great thing. We think I gotta have a meeting with them. Or I need to talk to them and tell them how they talking to me, and I'm not gonna accept that. And how dare they speak to me that, right? That's what we think has to happen. When all that has to happen is a change of concept, a change of perspective in our mind. And the moment she made that change in her mind, she saw it in her world.
Yeah, that's the big thing now. I like the accountability piece, because now a lot of times when I start to notice I'm having, I think I'm having a conflict with someone or a resentment or something, I'm oh, no one to change but self. And it's kind of stops it dead in the tracks. And then, I just a lot of times just drop it, or I try to think something more to my benefit in the situation, so again, it really, I'm noticing the amount of just attention that I need to pay attention to, what I'm thinking and feeling throughout the day, where my mind is going. And, but I notice it's getting easier and I'm catching things more. So that feels really good, because again, becoming aware, wow, I'm really fighting a lot in my, just imaginary fights with people, I realized I was bringing a lot of conflict into my life. So it feels good to start to finally see those weak spots in my energy, maybe where I'm giving it away without realizing it. So I like this chapter.
Yes, beautiful, beautiful. So who wants to go next, me or Gigi?
I can go next. I don't have too much
Go ahead,
to
Mia.
say. Yeah, I don't have too much to say. I like the chapter on attitudes. I think, like I say, everything always ties in together. And I just feel like your attitudes about a thing really shapes your beliefs, then it shapes your behavior and how you think about things. We talk about this all the time, the narratives that we create about things and situations and people, that all goes into our attitudes about things and our perception of our reality. And I think that that's why, you have to really be in control of your thoughts, your attitudes, and really have a really good, strong self-concept and know who you are and that you deserve those things. Because if that's not all in alignment meaning that you really believe that you deserve these things, your attitudes about these things, about money and having good things, right? If you think that, guilt about having a lot of money, or you feel that, certain companies or people, all those attitudes come into form of whether or not you believe you deserve something.
Yep.
And you really have to check yourself and check your attitudes at the door. So when you're thinking about those desires, you really have to make sure all of your attitudes about a thing are in alignment, because that is what's going to kind of creep in and sometimes can defer you when you are trying to create the world that you want. And, no one's perfect. And those are things that sometimes we all have to kind of work on and be accountable for. And we create our reality through our attitudes. Experience I had when I was looking for a job recently, before, when I got the job I have now, I had an interview with another company that kind of a reputation online, sometimes word of mouth. And he asked me, he was like, kind of, what have you heard about us, whatever. And I said, I don't really focus on what I heard. I like to make my own experience. And, I told him something like that, and he was just blown away. He was like, I really love that, and I appreciate that. And I appreciate you for saying that. So, you have to really word things. You don't want to adopt things. And, we live in a world full of influence, right? And we create careers out of being an influencer. And that should tell you how powerful your attention is right there. Your attention is money, because people are paid money to influence your attention, right? And get into your awareness and shape your attitudes about politics, about money, about being Black, about YT people, about everything, right? Everything is trying to shape your attitudes. And think about how you've been primed your whole life about attitudes about being wealthy, about attitudes about leaving impoverished communities and moving on up, right? Your attitudes about being with the man that's a provider, your attitudes about education or not. You are primed through, music and television. So you really have to reshape your mind and your attitudes and really kind of check your attitudes at the door and know that you know who you are and what you want, and that you are strong and know who you are in your self-concept. So like everything kind of goes in together. And I really, really love that, because a lot of us aren't aware of our attitudes and our own biases that can kind of sometimes pigeonhole us from getting those things that we want. So, accountability and self-awareness is a powerful tool. And once you can overcome that, you can really, really, really have heaven on earth and get everything you want. So I really love that.
Ooh. Yes, music to our ears. Beautiful. Go ahead, Gigi.
Hi. Yes.
Hi.
This is what I got from this chapter. Your attitude is your assumptions. Wow. That one really knocked me out. I was like, whoa. Because it's true. It's what your attitude is, what you're assuming. And it reminded me of this, like I've told this story before, of when I worked with a manager at a really nice restaurant in California, in Los Angeles, and nobody liked her. Nobody liked her at all. And I, instead of adopting their thoughts of, oh, she's a B, she's a C, she's a WXYZ, I started saying, you know what, she's really nice. Well, she's nice to me. She's very nice to me. She's friendly to me. She says good morning to me all the time. She offers me coffee, all this. And I just kept saying that. I'd say good morning to her. She'd give me a nod. And in my mind, I'd be like, I picture her saying, oh my God, Gigi, good morning. How you doing? And I'd be like, oh my gosh, she just said good morning to me. How sweet. She's such a nice lady, blah, blah, blah. And then about a week or two later, I said good morning to her, and she said, oh, good morning. She goes, how was your weekend? And she formed a conversation with me, offered me coffee and everything. Well, everybody at the job thought that I was her favorite because she was always nice to me. If I had to take a day off to go to an audition, if I had to, what have you, she'd give it to me. Even after I left the job, I went to go eat there with an ex-boyfriend, and she offered me like free appetizers, even gave me an expensive bottle of wine. So it's your assumption is your attitude. Like, have you ever like hear people say like, "Man, I don't like that girl. She this, and they have like an attitude when they say it, but that's really their assumptions. And then you can say, "Oh wow, I really like that girl. She's so sweet. She's so nice." That's your attitude, but that's really your assumption.
Yeah.
So it's crazy how
Yep.
all the chapters kind of say the same thing, you know?
They do. It's the same thing. It's just,
Yeah.
it's just remix. It's just
It's
remix.
like it's like a it's a sequel, but it's the same, you know, it's the same trilogy or the same, you know, it's the same story in each chapter. It's like a repetition, which I like it. I like that. And it says your assumption is the hand of God molding into a firmament into the image of that which you assume. The assumption of the wish fulfilled is the high tide which lifts you easily off the bar of the senses where you have so long lain stranded. So your assumptions is your attitude. And it's funny, like self-concept, even like not just the concepts that you have about yourself, but also the concepts that you have about other people.
Yep.
So if you say that that person is a jerk, then that's what you're going to experience. Like, you know, like the story I was just telling you about my former boss. Everybody didn't like her. They were experiencing that because that was their assumption of her. My assumption of her is that she was a really nice lady. So my experience was that she was always nice to me.
Yeah.
Now, had I adopted what they were thinking, then I would have probably experienced the same thing as they.
Yeah.
So, and what I like about this too, it's and like Cheryl was saying, like sometimes you can like go through something and you'll be arguing with the person in your brain. And I've like literally have stopped myself from doing it. I'm like, wait a minute, what are you doing? Why are you arguing with this person? No. I'm like, delete that. Don't even archive that. Delete that. Erase it.
Yeah.
Okay, how do we want this scenario to go? And I'll picture that in my mind. Quick success story. Walmart for some reason put me on Walmart jail. I don't know why. And I was getting ready to return something, and this thing popped up saying that I can't do any returns without a receipt. So I contacted customer service on the phone, and in my mind, I'm saying, they're going to return it and they're going to take me off Walmart jail. They're going to return it and they're going to take me off Walmart jail. And that's what I kept playing in my head. They brought over a manager. Manager had to do all, you know, stuff on the computer, blah, blah, blah. Excuse me. The computer wasn't really cooperating. And instead of like having a negative, you know, reaction to it, like saying, oh man, why aren't you taking me off this thing? What are you doing? No, I didn't go that route. I didn't have that attitude or that assumption. I instead pictured the wish fulfilled, went to the end, that they returned it, gave me a gift card to use, and they took me off of Walmart jail. Well, long story short, that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Because my assumption was, my assumption was that it's all going to work out regardless of everything that was going on. So even though I was in the shallow water with all this baloney going on, I dove into the deep end and already saw everything working out the way I wanted it to go.
Yes.
So what I love about this book, well, this book got me tripping. What I love about this book is that you're in control, baby. It's on you. The assumptions are you. How people are reflecting you is you. So if you just go inward and kind of start, you know, digging in and saying, okay, this I keep, this I don't want, this I don't want, this I'll keep, this I don't want, you know, and keep your attention and your focus on what you want to experience, you'll start seeing it.
Yep.
It's amazing.
It is.
It's amazing.
It is. It is. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, bestie. Hang on.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Latoxic, then Key. Did you have anything, Latoxic?
Hitting the wrong button. Sorry.
That's okay.
Guess while I was trying to unmute myself. No, I don't have anything to share. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I finished chapter 6, but I hadn't done 7 or 8 yet. So.
Oh, okay. Okay, no problem. No problem. Go ahead, Key.
It's just like what Gigi said, like your attitude is so critical because it really sets the direction. And the thing is that it sets the direction before the evidence appears. Because once you assign meaning to something before you even have external confirmation or validation, then your mind will just organize the behavior to confirm it. It's like confirmation bias, right? And that's why two people can have the same set of circumstances and then they just both walk away with a different experience. And it's really because their attitude shapes their assumptions. So it's like now when people like tell their story, their rendition of what happened, and before it used to be like, oh, is that what happened? But now I'm like, oh, is that the way you interpret it? Because that's, two different things. And so reading this chapter, I just realized that I don't experience life. I experience my interpretation of life. And it really begins with my attitude. So.
That's it. That's it. So the book says your particular circumstance to another influences your assumption with respect to that other and makes you see him that which you do see. If you can change your opinion of another, then what you now believe of him cannot be absolutely true, but it is only relatively true. It's all relative. It's all subjective. It's all based on what your assumptions or your attitude towards life. Change your mind, you change your world. A-Town, you can go and then we'll go to Kevin. Are you there at A-Town? Go ahead.
Yeah, dope. This was an excellent chapter. I got a few highlights. Here we go with one. Your assumption determines not only what you see, but so me, I do like the hammering in. You know what I'm saying? And I do see where I didn't really see it until it was kind of like, oh, everything's kind of repeating the same, which I was like, when you think about it, I guess from an overview standpoint, it kind of all resonates. But for me, it didn't at first. It didn't do that. Like I had to take each section by each section by each section because it just meant something different to how whatever related. Anyway, so I do like the hammering down how he's able to go in, but also being able to know that it's you see the backbone of everything. You see the spine of the reference of how everything stems together. But it goes to say your assumptions not only determines not only what you see, but also what you do, for they govern all your conscious and subconscious movements towards the fulfillment of themselves. So, and I kind of not really juggle with that, but it's like, okay, when do you find a happy balance of doing and being, right? Or because I'm a doer, you know what I'm saying? Like I know how to do certain, I'm gonna do it regardless, you know what I'm saying, until I find default. And that default is definitely just another direction to finding whatever I want. So I want to be for me, a friend of mine, she says, she knows me kind of personally, so she'll say, well, is all this out of performance, right? Or are you being able to are you resting in that? You know what I'm saying? So she kind of checks me in, a perspective where I'm not usually, I'm like, nah, I need this. You know what I'm saying? I'm the type, that's my go-to default. I got to get it. But however, she definitely, exudes a different type of resonance where, okay, is this just performance or a hustle mindset? And I think you kind of talk about that too. A lot of times, Toya, where just kind of understanding the intentionality of it, right? And being able to ensure that, I'm always goal oriented, right? Everything around me is you know what I'm saying? There's certain
Right.
infrastructure I got to where it's like it makes sense to what I want. So, however, I do like that, just being able to know what governs consciousness and subconscious, just making sure it all aligns. And that's what it kind of meant for me. Then it says your assumption is the hand of God molding the firmament into the image of which we assume. And I like that because that's one of the things I say is attention is like the currency of God's, and then your assumption is the hand of God. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like super dope. Just like I feel like a transformer type. You know what I'm saying? Where as the or the whatever as these power combine, whatever type of sitcom that was, but yeah, just knowing just the power that we have. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm just really tapped into. Just knowing all that and knowing how if we just like almost like what Mia said, like I need it. I done had so much other stuff to relate it to where it kind of makes sense for me to kind of either debunk it, bring, it's a reference point, so I can't knock it. You know what I mean? And so now being able to cover it or revise whatever that situation is, I'm able to, yeah, Captain Planet. Now I'm able to kind of make sure that um a different type of recourse of life. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
For sure, for sure.
And so you're doing, the question has to be, am I doing it to make it so? Am I doing it because it's already so?
Mm-hmm.
So what is your doing? What is the intent of your doing? Am I trying to make something happen, or
Right.
I'm just doing it because of the happening? Right? I'm doing it because
Mm.
I love to do it, because this is what I enjoy doing, and for no other reason but for it. But some people do it to make a thing so. You come to realize you can't make anything so. It's a lot of people doing a lot of stuff and ain't getting nowhere, right? And then there's people doing
Mm-hmm.
very little and getting very far, right? Because they know it's not the doing that causes, the doing is the effect, never the cause. The cause is mental. The moment you said that I am, you are. But if you think you got to make yourself be it, you'll never be it, because you don't think that
Right.
you are it.
Right.
So, right, you'll be fighting against the wind unless the Lord builds the house. Those that build it, they build in vain. When you don't know that you already are, you're building in vain. There is no sure foundation there.
That's good.
You got to know what place you're coming from. And it'll come with ease. It'll make you stop stressing, because when you understand that it's not you doing it, it's not you, the personality. When I say it's not you doing it, I'm talking about the I am in you. I'm talking about you, the intellectual. You that's trying to make it so. You can't, well, that's why Jesus I of my own self ain't doing shit. He said, I don't do nothing. Oh, it's the Father in me that's doing it. It's the faith that makes it. That's it. It's the faith. It's the belief and the knowing, the trust that it already is, regardless of appearances. We want the world to be the dictate when actually the world is the reflection. Let it catch up. It will. Hello, Kevin. How are you?
I am super great.
Yes, welcome. Good afternoon.
Man, you a hard act to follow, girl.
No. You got it. You got it.
because I revere and respect you so very much. And my heart swells with pride every single time that I listen to you. I like, look at her. Go, girl, go. Get him. Sick him.
You silly.
But yes, this book, I don't know if there's another timeline that exists where this live is doing another book, but this was the book that I wanted the live to experience. When we had a whole list of books that we could pick from, this was the one I manifested.
Yes.
I selected. And here we are.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
So
You and I both, because this was my selection. So,
well, there you go. We manifested it. If
I chose this book.
the word says if two agree, right? Right. That's all we need is two.
Yep.
So if you guys saw me having an argument, I mean real passionate discussion, and there was nobody, you could see nobody in front of me, and you see me going back and forth with nobody in front of me, would you think there's something wrong with me mentally? I mean, it's okay to judge me. What you think,
we judge people that walk around arguing with themselves like they must be crazy. They crazy. Who they talking to? Like,
Well, that's what you do when there's nobody around. You sit and have conversations with nobody in front of you. You have those conversations with yourself. And then when you do manifest somebody in front of you, and you do get in a heated conversation with them, do you realize you're actually in a heated conversation with an illusion that you put there? Because it's only you. Everything else is an illusion. Your imagination is your superpower. It's what's bringing everything. Like they used to say, uh, everybody. It's all your imagination. It's you, and that's what this book is going to teach you. It's going to reveal to you. Your attitude is you. Is your attitude. When you say someone has a stink attitude, it's talking about you. When you say, man, I don't get it. How can this person be optimistic all the time? Do they ever have a negative thought? No.
No, not even a little bit.
Not even a little bit. And that's how you live your best life. You're always going to get opportunities to decide, opportunities to pick what you want. The universe is not proactive, it's reactive. Let me say that again. The universe is not proactive, it's reactive. Well, who is it reacting to? You. He said, why is it taking so long? Why do some people get things manifested before I do? I'm better than they are. I'm better looking than they are. I got more followers than they are. It's you. It really is you. And once you lean into that, man, that opens up a whole new, delicious, and wonderful, delightful world to you. Because you get to say and get exactly that which you intentionally want, that which you consciously want. Because you know that you can step out of a situation at any time you want and be on the outside looking in. Because you really are. You can step in it and be a part of the character, be a part of the cast. You can step out and be the director. Wait a minute, you're getting ready to crash out. You don't crash out on this part. This is where you stay calm. This is where you stay still. That's not your role. You get to tell you what to do. If any one of you raise your hand, did your hand ask permission to be raised before it raised? Or did it just raise because you said raise your hand?
Raise your hand if you're
If you're
sure.
sure. I love how silly you are.
Raise your hand. Raise your hand if you're
Oh, I can't.
You know, I always got a song.
I love it. I love it. It's my favorite. It's my
Even if I don't
absolute favorite.
quite know the lyrics to it,
Yeah,
I
you
always
got
know
one.
this
You always
song
got
fits
one. Just
here. Yeah.
always got one. There's
There's a
always
song
a
for
horse in the
everything.
stable. I know it. But
A
this is
song for everything.
yep,
Yeah.
a song for everything. But this is how we are. This is how we made. And this book club with Nova Garter is helping us to be aware that of what we need to be aware of. What we need to be aware of. And as we become aware of those things that we need to be aware of, and these opportunities continue to rise,
Yes.
and we take advantage of the opportunities to alchemize and use our power the way they're intended to be used.
Love that. Yeah.
They're just opportunities. Ain't
Yeah.
nobody picking on you.
Mm.
Ain't nobody singling you out to be picked on. There are opportunities for you to walk in the wonderful greatness that you are.
Yes. Yes. I am. I thought about that. I know earlier. I know you probably wasn't alive. I was talking about Iyanla Van Sant, how she started her new series, and
Mm-hmm.
had did an interview with Carlos King, and he brought up when she was on the Oprah Winfrey Show. You know, back I think maybe the late '90s, early
Okay.
2000s. I think it was late '90s when she was starting. You know, she wrote a couple of books, and Oprah was giving like her an hour, a show a week, I believe, to do her thing. And in her mind, it wasn't happening. In fact, like she wanted her own show. She didn't want to be part of Oprah's show. She wanted her own show. So here come Barbara Walters comes in and gives her her own show. And after reflection, because they kind of parted ways, they kind of parted on, wasn't an amicable split. And when they came back together, they came to the realization, which is what Iyanla came to realization, was that she didn't feel worthy of what Oprah was doing for her, right? Because in her mind, she's giving me something that I don't feel I should have. So even though she was trying to say that she deserved it, she really didn't feel that she did, because Oprah was like, well, there are some things that needs to go. This I'm gonna give you a base, I'm gonna give you the foundation so you can grow in this space, and everything is going to be on me. Well, she didn't want to be in a part of that, a part of what Oprah was on. She wanted it all on her own, not realizing she wasn't ready to be on her own, right? So because when she goes out on her own with Barbara Walters, it falls flat. But when she was with Oprah, I mean, it was like she had Oprah's audience, right? Like you got
Right.
Oprah's audience. You got Oprah's audience.
Right.
Do you know who Oprah's audience is?
Yeah, she found out, didn't she?
Like, and she had to come to realization she doesn't feel worthy. Because we think if we don't work for it, we don't deserve it, right? Because it was given to her. And she didn't
Right.
think that she had did anything worth receiving it.
Something that great.
That's the work we have. That's the work that has to be done. To stop thinking it's about earning a thing, deserving a thing, being worthy of a thing. You are the very thing. You are
Yes.
it. You are the
We
very
we
thing.
are the work that we need to work on.
Man.
Remember, somebody said, well, "What's the work we have to do? Do I have to go get a side hustle? Do I have to go get some type of extra job? Do I need to go back to school?" Our belief is the work that we need to work on.
Right. Because it was so interesting. It's full circle because in the 90s, before I went to church, and I was like, I always forget the book that I had by her, right? Iyanla Van Sant. I had a couple of books by her, but the first book I had, it was an affirmation book. She actually said the book on the show that she was doing the interview with, Acts of Faith. That is the book I had by her in the 90s.
Okay.
Then 2010, 11, I see the documentary Law of Attraction with the Secret with Rhonda Burns.
Uh-huh.
Not until 2018 it clicks. So the seed was planted in the 90s. I run the church, so I'm listening. I'm reading a couple of books by Iyanla Van Sant. I'm got her affirmation book, Acts of Faith. but then I run a church in the late 90s, getting married, hacky, right? So like that was my journey back to self.
Right.
Those little seeds were being planted to let me know that I am the source that I'm looking for, but I had to travel outside of myself. I was a prodigal son seeking self, but had to go and waste all them years, right? Wasted all that time looking
Yep.
outside of myself. And not till 2018 did I get back to myself and remember, oh, it was I all along.
Well, the Israelites did the same thing. It took them 40 years to get back to
Yep.
themselves.
Yep. Well, I was about 45 when I was actually 44, but that year I was turning 45. Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so true.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
true.
you're right, Gigi. Not a
Mm,
waste, but you know what I mean. That's terminology they use in the
sure.
script that he went and wasted all he had, right? And
Mm,
yeah, it wasn't a waste. It was part of the experience. It was part of what was necessary. That's what my soul wanted to experience, and it experienced it. Yep.
right. Right. Nothing wrong.
Mm-mm.
Nothing wrong.
Yep. Yep.
Right.
And then the in the this I'm gonna read this one last these few lines from this chapter, then we'll go to the next chapter. It says, so he's talking about the case history about the lady with the changing how she saw her employer. So thus we see it is not facts, but that which we create in our imagination, which shapes which shapes our lives. For most of the conflicts of the day are due to the want of a little imagination to cast the beam out of our own eye. It is the exact and literal minded who live in a fictitious world. As this designer, by her controlled imagination, started the subtle change of her employer's mind, so can we, by the control of our own imagination and wisely directed feeling, solve our problems. Our problems are solved within our own mind. Go ahead, in our imagination. Go ahead, Key. Key, did you have something to say?
I'm sorry, I didn't realize I came off mute. I don't know what
Uh,
happened. Sorry.
that's okay. That's okay. Go ahead, Gigi.
Oh, okay, thanks. Yeah, her imagination really did change her experience with her boss. And what caught my attention here was your assumptions determine not only what you see, but also what you do, for they govern all your conscious and your subconscious movements towards the fulfillment of themselves. That is deep. So it's your assumption of yourself, your assumptions of others, your assumptions of your situations, pretty much persons, places, and things, your assumptions. Like, you can move into a new city and somebody will say, oh no, you don't want to live there because it's expensive and there's a lot of crime and blah, 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 blah. And you can say, well, I'm moving there. It's affordable for me. There's no crime. Everybody's nice. It's peaceful. And that's the experience that you're going to have because you're not thinking about crime or anything like that.
Yeah.
So it's powerful how it's your assumptions is your attitude and your attitude is your assumptions.
They are. Yep. Your assumptions are your attitude. Your attitude is your assumption.
Your assumptions. It's like it's really what you're thinking and what you're saying, what you're holding in your imagination, which is really what your assumption as well, because the moment you assume something or say something, you're automatically imagining it. It's like when somebody's telling you a story and they're telling you about a trip, like, you've never maybe been to Hawaii or the Maldives or whatever. They're telling you the story about how beautiful the ocean is and the beaches are, and you automatically start imagining what it looks like. So it's it's powerful to know that, like Kev was saying, that it's all you. So if you're saying that it's that I like the example that he gave about somebody saying, well, I'm a influencer, I got more followers, I'm prettier than she is, how come things go easy for her and things go hard for the other person? Well, it's because you're assuming that's going to go hard for you.
Yeah.
Remember, your higher self, God, the God in you, is saying yes to everything. So you say, yes, you're prettier. Yes, you have more followers. Yes, things are hard for you, because that's what you're saying. So if you're saying, things go easy for me, things are handed to me, and you stay with that, then that's what you're going to experience. It's really that simple.
It is that simple. Yeah, there's Neville quotes Blake. I think that was one of his favorite authors. Things only seem to be to those whom it seems to be.
Yep.
What does it seem to be to you? Then that's what it will be. Whatever you're
And that's
right. He
exactly
said
what it'll be.
seem as opposed to assume, right? Same word though, right? Whatever it
Yeah.
seems to be. Yep. And
so if you're ever in a situation where, where something isn't going the way that you want it, and it's a training, you kind of have to practice it. Because I've been practicing it. So whenever something isn't going the way I want it to, I kind of want to react in the outer world, and I go and I hear, wait a minute, whoa. No. What did we learn in that book? And I kind of picture Toyia sometimes next to me going, hey, bestie, you know better than that. I'm like, oh yeah, you're right. Yeah. And then my other higher self's like, what are you doing? So I got Neville, I got Bestie, and I got myself. So, I got a couple of people living in my head too, but no, we're all choir and we're singing the same songs.
Yep.
So,
love that.
I'll go inside, and then I'll let what's going on out. Let it happen. Let it be, like the song says. And in my mind, I'll just picture a different outcome. I'll just sit there, and in my head, I'm picking a different outcome. And before you know it, girl, it's exactly how I want it to be. Like sometimes I'll even be saying what I just pictured them saying in my head, and I'll be like, "Wow, that just happened."
Yeah. Because I thought about
practice.
I thought about, okay, so desire is a gift from God, right? So God gave you the desire, or gave you the gift. God will fulfill the gift. The only thing you have to do is trust God with the gift. The thing is, we think we're supposed to do something to earn the gift. But a gift is freely given, right? That's the essence of a gift. If someone's giving you a gift, they don't expect anything in return. Probably the most they expect for you to say is thank you. That's about as much you're supposed to give in return for a gift, is appreciation of the gift. But even then, it's not even necessary to say thank you. Because what was so interesting when we talk about this whole thing of gratitude and thankfulness and all of this, right? We understand words change over time. They have taken on different meanings. Well, thankful in the beginning meant thoughtful. To be think was the past tense of thought. Like think was the past tense of think. Think is the past tense of think.
No way. I like that.
Yeah, because my daughter, she likes to get into the etymology of words and likes to look and see where the word originate, how did it change and stuff like that. And I was like, so when you say thankful, it's supposed to be thoughtful. When you're being thankful, you're actually being thoughtful, which means you're thinking about whatever. The world is a thought life. That's all it is. Our world is a thought. And as much as we want to get away from it and we want it to be about the physical, what we're doing physically is all about what you're doing mentally.
Well, it's just like the word
ask. It's always been about.
Ask. Yep. The word ask is command. To demand, to command. It's not please, will you, could you, should you. If you look up the word ask in the thesaurus, it's to command. It's to call forth. The going to and will isn't really future. It's kind of perceived like in a future, but it's not really like it's in the far away future. Go to is to intend, and will is to decide.
There you go.
It's like, see? So, sometimes you just got to pick up a thesaurus on Google, just type thesaurus on there and start looking at these words, because sometimes it's just like, what are you really trying to say? Why does the Bible say, ask and ye shall receive? Well, what do you mean if I beg, I shall receive? That's what caught my attention with that one. And I said, I'm going to look up the word ask. Because why is it on two scriptures? It's in Matthew and it's in Mark. I'm like, I'm going to look up the word ask. What exactly do you mean by that? And that blew my mind when I saw the word command. Yeah. I was like, what?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it totally took my prayer
yeah,
life to a whole new level.
right. When you, yeah, we're not trying to get something to give us something, right?
Exactly.
We're deciding that we have it. That's it, right? That's
Right.
why ask is about claiming a thing, not trying to
Yep.
figure out
Claiming.
how to
Yep.
get it, right? You claim what you want. I want that, and then let it come.
Exactly.
Then this is the part that we find difficulty with. We think we're supposed to try to go get it. Well, wait a minute, it just ain't gonna come. It just isn't gonna fall out the sky. Like Kevin has sent me this TikTok, and he was saying he was good with the whole. He was making reference to, and Kevin could probably speak to this when he was talking about it was a SpongeBob episode. And I forgot the name of whatever they had found, whatever gadget they had found, and they had got lost in the wilderness or somewhere in a little ocean part of their world. And the thing told them to do nothing. Squidward is freaking out. What do you mean do nothing? We can't do nothing. What is going on? And Patrick and SpongeBob just chill. They don't do nothing. And there are some way everything they need to come. A fire, food, water, shelter, everything just drops right where they at. Everything is provided. And so he was making a correlation of how, when you start freaking out and panicking, you're just supposed to get still and let God provide for you. However, at the end of his message, he was like, but that doesn't mean you could just sit around and play video games all day. You a lie? Because ain't people just sitting around playing video games all day and getting paid?
Paid to do it. Yep.
They sit around just playing videos all day, making buku money. Go ahead,
Can I share a
Kevin,
quick success?
because Kevin was the one that brought that to me. I was like, oh, I never saw that episode. I haven't watched.
Can I
I
share a
haven't
quick
watched.
success?
Oh, I'm a big SpongeBob
Okay.
fan, and out of the book of SpongeBob, that
The book of SpongeBob.
that reference speaks loud and clear because they're. I'm not saying they're playing in your faith; they're revealing in broad daylight, right in front of you, and those that have ears to hear can hear. And those that don't do not have ears to hear. So when you're trying to convince family and friends about your awakening, they look at you like, are you serious right now? You're not well. We can tell you're not well. You're not acting yourself. That's because they don't have ears to hear. What did the script say? If I be lifted up, I will draw all men unto me. You are the I that's being lifted. The God in you is the I of the I am. I don't know if you get that or not, but that's why you are always the one revealing itself to itself, experiencing itself to itself. You are where everything that's going on in your life right now. You are the cause. And since, which is great news, because since you know that you're the cause, you can alchemize and change any and everything in your life just by deciding to, which is how it got there in the first place. As I said earlier in the onset of my conversation, the universe reflects you. It's not proactive. You are reactive. Your manifestations are reactive to you. Which is why you have to take accountability. Because it is you. You can say, well, you didn't see what they did to me. You don't know what they said to me. And how dare anybody talk to me like that? What? You talk to yourself like that all the time.
Yeah.
They just manifested what you were saying internally. That part. I'll
Yes.
say that part for myself. So nobody else gonna say it.
Yep, that part. Say it.
Well, not add to that, really. I just wanted to give a quick example of it. I have this mindset sometimes when I feel like people don't hear me when I'm being calm and considerate. Like they can only hear me when I'm like upset. And that has surely been showing up in my life lately. Let me tell you. It's certainly the mindset. And it's so frustrating. But I realized, like, why am I taking this mindset? Like, what is it about this mindset that serves me? It serves me for some reason. I'm choosing it for some reason to believe that people misunderstand me or like can't hear what I'm genuinely trying to say to them unless, there's raised voices. Um,
Well, the reason is because you keep saying it.
yeah, I keep saying
That's the
it.
only reason. You know
I guess
other
there has to be
reason
a more
then
deeper reason than
you
that.
could just decide that they hear you when you speak off softly.
Period.
Just decide that that's what's going on now. But you keep deciding that they're only going to hear you when you raise your voice. So you're right. You said for some reason. I'm like, the
Yeah, it
reason
might have
you're
been.
the
What is
reason.
the reason? I guess there is a reason. There
Like,
needs to be a deeper reason.
you're the reason.
Yep.
Reasons, the reasons that we're here.
Yep, you're the reason. You're the reason for your season.
I was just singing that song too. I knew you were going to sing it.
Too funny, too funny, too funny. Well, let's go to chapter 8. Now, this is a really, 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 really short chapter. I don't even think it's a whole page, but it's about a page, but the book is so little, the words so, everything's spaced out. But renunciation. We'll go back to Cheryl.
I like this chapter a lot. It kind of falls back to like what you were saying, I think at the beginning of the live, just like how easy this actually is. And my favorite part, even though it's so short, I just really love the first two paragraphs a lot because that give beauty for ashes, joy for mourning. Like that's one of my most favorite scriptures. Like I think of it sometimes when I'm, going in one direction, like looking at things through the lens I necessarily don't want to, and I can make that like 180-degree turn. So, and because one of the things I have learned, like I've mentioned, before I've been on this path for a long time, and when I first found Neville, like I was kind of coming out of like a dark night of the soul, and I like struggled a lot, like with depression. Like I just wake up in the morning and, I just had feel like this heavy cloud was over my head, and that was kind of like that quote there is like when I realized, nothing's going to change. I'm not going to wake up one day and just be happy. Like I have to I have to make that choice. And I started waking up every day and I would feel that heaviness that, with that, the heaviness of spirit that, that scripture is referring to. But I could, with, practice, like I could change that, and I started to actually wake up, more and more, feeling good. And now, I almost every morning, is really, I have good mornings. I have a pretty good spiritual practice. I picked up from you, I talk to myself a lot. I walk my dog and I make affirmations in the morning. And so it really is like that. I can choose to have a joyous attitude. I can choose to see the good, and I'm great. I'm blessed enough. I live a few minutes from the beach. So I see beautiful sunrises and I've just really learned like that, how to use this, what Neville's saying, is that it's just a simple thing. Don't have to fight it. I mean, I still get caught up in the resistance. Like that's, I think, where my, negative self-talk will come up. I'll judge, like earlier in the book when Neville said, a non-critical judgment or self-assessment, I still can get caught up in, being a little hard on myself. But on those good days, like now, like they're the best days I've ever had. And I told you guys last week, I'm 60 and I just have so many joyful days now. And this is like the last few chapters of my life, and it actually feels like it's going to be the best. So that's really what this chapter reminded me, like, it's never too late, and like I said, last week, I knew that I was the cause. I took the accountability, and so I was just going to die trying. Like, I'm thinking, because Neville said, I think once, the only thing you take with you when you go is your state of consciousness. So I'm like, I'm going to spend this lifetime cleaning up that consciousness, So, just really trying to walk now in that. I set intentions every year, and, my intention this year is to just have more confidence. And that's what I really think would help me a lot in this, to just kind of get up every day and live this a little bit more like what people were saying, like just having that belief that I am the I am, consistently, because I have some good days, but then some days I can kind of psych myself out a little bit. So I really love this chapter. I thought it was really beautiful, and I just like the simplicity of all of this. It's just working it out in my own head and heart, like kind of unifying the head and the heart. It's not all intellectual, it's application.
Yes. Love that. Ooh, beautiful. Yeah, this is a book that you probably heard of. It's a chapter in one of his books that says, "Are you making wine? Are you applying what you're hearing? Are you being a doer and not just a hearer of the word?" Yeah.
Right.
And that's what we have to ask ourselves. Am I making wine? Am I applying what I'm hearing? Yeah, because it all sounds good, but it all can be really good if you would just experience it. Allow yourself the opportunity to experience it.
And that's just one other thing, like, I became aware, like, sometimes, especially like the first part of my life, I'm a mom, I have kids, and like I just really learned, like, or I thought being a mom meant like you had to give everything and you didn't receive. And I've really had to learn to receive.
I
And
think a
that's
lot
been
of us have to learn that, to receive, to be in that, not thinking that we all alone, we got to do it all by ourselves. And, we can, that whole trust, right? But the trust has to come from within, and then it is reflected on the outside, right? So once we trust ourselves, then we'll allow ourselves to trust others. Why? Because there is no other. Me trusting you is me trusting me. All right. I'm trusting my discernment. I'm trusting that everyone's my friend. No one is out here to do me wrong or to do me harm or to scam me or to manipulate me or to control me, right? I have to decide that's my reality.
Yeah, and that was like, I remember early on, Neville said, all this is contingent on your confidence in yourself. And I was like, damn, like, I'm just like, because I mean, literally, I was pretty like, I had a lot of low self-esteem and didn't feel like, a lot of self-worth. And I was like, and it was hard for me to have faith because,
That's what
I had done that begging.
Go listen to Beyonce Ego.
Well, that was like in the past. I was like, I thought, like I prayed, but in the begging kind of supplication way. And, and then, so it's a lot of like retraining the mind, and like you say, and the Bible says, love thyself. So that's the practice.
Yeah. Everybody trying to get you to snuff out the ego. I'm here to tell you, no, walk in that ego. Be confident. You get such a, being confident in yourself. I don't know why it gets such a bad rap, but I get it because we're so fearful of knowing our true identity. Because what does that look like? What does that mean? What does other people think about that? And you just got to take other people out of the equation. The people think whatever you think. They're thinking about it the way you think about it. So when you change the way you think about it, the world will change.
Well, I think that's why you're a good teacher, because like you are bold, and you're really like, and you like, when I first started hearing you, and you would say like, just don't do that anymore, or it's that way because you say it's that way, or you're being attached to the victim, and it would kind of make me mad, but it was like I knew I needed to hear that, and you're not apologetic at all, and you're a great power of example, I think.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And so we'll go to Key and then we'll go to Gigi.
Okay. Sorry I keep dropping. I don't know.
Oh no,
Anyway.
you're good.
So
You're good.
so my big takeaway from chapter 8 was don't resist. Like that could have been the whole chapter. Like, don't resist. Cause I'm like, that was me. Like when you change your attention from it, because when you resist something, you're still focusing your attention. And you're like, it's like saying to your consciousness, this matters.
Yeah.
And we all know, and you taught us that, you shared with us, whatever matters grows. But when you renounce something, you renounce what no longer serves you. And I know Neville, I know he doesn't explicitly say this, but since we know that resisting and it's different from renouncing. And if resistance is something you fight, right? You think of it being loud. Then renunciation, in contrast, can't involve a struggle. So that means that it's quiet. It's not dramatic. You just remove your attention. And you
Yep.
don't have to make no big announcement or no big declaration. You just make a decision. I can say that's why in every relationship, now I'm putting my personal, in every in every relationship, when I ever yelled loudly or text, I'm done. Like it's over every time. I never was. I always went back.
Mm.
Always went back. It was as if as soon as he got the words, it's over, I'm done, he knew that I was coming back.
Mm.
Just because I said that, my earpiece is falling out. But it was.
Well, you knew you was going bad because it wasn't that you wanted to leave. You just wanted to change, right? You knew that there
Mm,
was an ultimatum you were giving, right?
mm,
If you don't change, I'm out of here. That's what you were saying. Your words were saying this, but your intention was the truth of you were saying, "Oh, I just need to, I just need to scare him a little bit to get him to change."
facts.
Yeah,
Facts.
and
But
you
when
weren't going nowhere because if you were going
right,
nowhere, you wouldn't announce it.
there you go. And that's
You just
exactly
be gone. And he'd be
that's
like,
exactly
"Hey,
what
what happened to it?
happened.
What? You're right. No explanation needed." That's how you knew you were selling wolf tickets, as they say.
That's exactly what happened when I quietly just removed my focus and my attention from him. Then I stopped explaining, like you just said. I stopped all the negotiating. I just went quiet, and
Yep.
then it dissolved. And so it was like chapter 8, like reminded me of that. Like there's freedom when you just stop fighting what you don't want. Just withdraw your attention from it. Duh.
Duh.
Like duh. Like so yeah,
It's so simple, but the
it's so
mind be like, it
simple.
cannot be that simple. Like the mind, our conditioning, really, it's not our mind, it's our conditioning, it's the programming, right? It's the no, you got to fight for your right to party. You don't have to
My
fight.
my mom is so funny because she used to always tell me, just shut up. Just shut up.
Mm,
And I thought she was telling me, no, back down, and I the whole time she was just like, just shut up. Stop talking about it. The fact that you're still talking about it means that you're gonna keep experiencing it. And I had to be what? 50 to get it. Like when my mom was telling me, just shut up.
mm.
Like what she meant. Like, dang, just shut up.
Let's be
That's it.
quiet. Yep.
Yeah, be quiet. Yep.
Be
Like
quiet. Move in silence.
yeah.
As they say, move in silence.
Uh,
I like Dr. Joseph Murphy puts it this way. He says the quiet mind gets things done.
mm,
He
mm,
said
mm,
quiet mind gets things done. Woo!
mm,
Yep.
mm. Yeah.
Well, that's it. Say and what you were reminding us of key in chapter 8. It's in the first paragraph. Neville says, when you resist evil, you give it your attention. You continue to make it real. When you renounce evil, you take your attention from it and give your attention to what you want. That's it. The thing what you persist in, you continue to make real, right? Resistance is attention because you're talking about it, right? It's not, again, we say it over and over again. The universe, consciousness, God, however you're framing it, source, never says no. It says, what you talking about? Because I'm listening. Oh, you're mad that he's not calling. You're right. You're going to continue to be mad he's not calling. It's just so simple. The thing that you're complaining about is the thing you're bringing about. Why? Because that's what you're giving your attention to. Consciousness is not here judging anything you're doing. You're the sun. The mind is the sun. The mind is the expression or the son of God. God, source, is the creator. The son, the creation. The mind is the judge. It's always judging something right or wrong, good or bad, positive or negative. That's why it says the Father, consciousness, doesn't judge anything. It's the son. The mind judges all things. You're always sitting around judging. And what did the script tell you? Just be careful how you judge. Be aware of how you judge. If you're going to judge righteous judgment, which means think right about it. Understand that all things work together for your good and there's nothing against you. The world supports you in every decision, be it right, wrong, good, or bad. Whatever you say, you're right. That is whatever you say. Whatever you say, you're always right. You can never get it wrong. So if you think life is a struggle, hard, push, pull, you're right. Nobody to argue with but yourself. And that's the only person you're ever always arguing with. You can put your mama there, you can put your boyfriend there, you can put your husband there, you can put your girlfriend, your spouse, your employer, your employees, your partner, whoever it is. Whenever you're having a disagreement, the disagreement is with self. It's never with the other person. Because they're just your mirror. They're just showing you. The problems, the things that you don't like about yourself, you see in others. Whatever you don't like in someone else, you actually don't like about you. Or they talk too much. Oh, you probably don't like the fact that you don't talk enough or you don't speak up for yourself. They always got something to say because you want something to say, but you don't have the courage to say it. So you mad that they do. You mad that they're do the very thing that you want. Stop being mad and just be great. Stop complaining and just be the very thing you want to. When we can just be honest with ourselves and just allow ourselves to be the very thing we want to be without judgment, man. And when I'm saying without judgment, without looking at it from a negative perspective or downplaying or thinking yourself less than. Again, no one judges you but you. You're the judge and the jury. You're all of it. Go ahead, Gigi. You can go next.
Yes. Hi. This chapter really reminded me of times where I've just kind of like let go, let go, let God, kind of like took my attention away from the thing that I didn't want and put it to the thing that I actually did want instead of like fighting with it. Quick success story. I was in Los Angeles. This was in 2004, and I had my car parked on the street, and there was I guess it was some kind of triathlon, some kind of marathon running thing or whatever, and all the cars got towed, and we didn't know where our cars were. Nothing. Mine was one of the cars that got towed. So of course everybody in the apartment complex is tripping. I was tripping. My poor godmother, may she rest in peace, she was tripping too. And then I just kind of had one of those moments, like a bucket with the letter F moment. I said bucket. I said, I got my car back. I just said, I got my car back. I have my car back. So I started reading. She had Florence Scovel Shinn's book, and I just picked it up and started reading The Power of Your Words. And I just started saying, man, I got my car back. My car's parked outside. That's great. Thank you. I got my car back. I just kept playing that in my head with all the chaos that was going around. So the next door neighbor asks me to give her a ride to go pick up her car in my godmother's car. And because my godmother's car was the only one that got towed because she was smart enough to park it in her garage. So we drove back to the place to go pick up the cars, and she got her car. And then when we came back, I mean, I was feeling the feelings. I was, I'm not going to say that I was like as cool as a cucumber. I wasn't. I was, them nervous system, whatever you want to call it, was having a party. I did not care. I just kept my eye that my car was parked. I even like envisioned my car parked, next to my godmother's in the garage instead of outside. So the girl that I helped her get her car, she says, "Where's your car?" I said, "Well, my car's still there." And she goes, "Why?" I said, "Well, it's right now I don't have the money to get it out." She goes, "Come on, let's go get your car." I said, "What?" She said, "Come on, let's go get your car." And I heard a voice inside of me say, let her. This is part of my plan. Yeah, let her get your car. So I was like, okay. So I went with her to get the car. She paid for it. I told her, I'll pay you back. And she goes, "Yeah, no problem. Take your time. Don't worry. Pay me back what you can. Don't worry about it." No way in my craziest nightmares, dreams, have I ever would have thought that this person who I didn't know, she was my godmother's next door neighbor. She wasn't even my next door neighbor. Was going to give me $150 to get my car out. And all because I didn't, pardon my French, didn't give a shit. I was like, you know what? F you. I got my car back. I didn't even give it any attention. I just took my attention away from my car being towed, and I just pictured my car parked right there. I didn't know it was going to happen that quick. I didn't care. As far as I was concerned, my car was there. And this really, and I have been putting this one to practice a lot when situations, because, situations do pop up, and it's all me. I know it's all my thoughts. It's all me. And it's like, Cheryl was saying earlier, that you're choosing to have a happy life. You're choosing to have a good experience. So whenever those little nasty ones want to make rear their little ugly head, if you just renounce it, meaning you put your attention to what you desire as though that's what's happening, regardless of what's happening around you, you'll experience it. So that's why it doesn't matter how you're feeling. Let those feelings be there. It doesn't matter how crazy it is in your 3D. Let it be there. You just, get away from the shallow water and go straight into the deep and see the outcome that you want. And I love that he says that now is the time to control your imagination and give beauty for ashes. So when you see, if there's ashes, see beauty. When you discover your own controlled imagination to be your savior, your attitude will be completely altered without any diminutive feelings of religious feelings, and you'll have the say of your controlled imagination. So it's taking control by simply being still. That is powerful. That is cray-cray. And the reason why, we're conditioned to think that, oh, we gotta fight with that person, blah, 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 blah. Well, it's everywhere. It's in television shows, it's in soap operas, it's in movies. Can you imagine a movie, ending like a girl having an argument with her boyfriend and she's just sitting there imagining that everything's working out? Well, that's what the movie would be, 15 minutes long? And that's what the commercials. So they have to add the drama for entertainment purposes. But in reality, you can just chill. Yeah. And I've seen it so many times, whether now that I'm aware of it, that's my new best friend. I'm practicing that one even more. Yes. But I've noticed that back, when I was learning this, and even before I didn't know any of this, the moment I just renounced a situation and put my attention to the outcome that I desired, it would happen. So this is a very powerful, short but sweet, but tiny but mighty. I got to give it that, because
yep. Tiny but mighty. I like that.
Tiny but mighty, because And you know, it's to the point on how your imagination and your desired outcome is really all in your hands. So if somebody's acting a certain way, acting a fool, like we say, you know, it's it's your assumption of that person or of that situation. So all you got to do is flip it.
Yep.
And see it as if that's how it is, the way that you desire it to be.
Yep.
That
You
is
really do
wow.
have to decide Philippians 4 and 8 that you're going to think on what's lovely, what's true, what's noble, what's just.
Yes.
Right? Like you're going to
Yes.
have to make a decision to think that. There's a reason why Paul is reminding you how to think, right? To think on it, because it's what you think you create, what you think about you bring about. So don't you want to think the lovely? And you have to put yourself be empathy and put yourself in the position of the so-called other. Would you want someone thinking so less of you the way you think so less of others? Like
Exactly.
the gossiping you do about another, the how you put another person down, how you call another person lazy, how you call a person no good, how you can tell them they nothing but cheater, they just manipulative. Would you want that said about you? Because here's the thing that is being said about you. Why? Because you're the only thinker. You're the thinker in this situation. So which means you're creating the reality of it.
And really, you're praising it. That praising is attention. That's
Yep.
what you're giving. Praising, complaining. That's what you're giving your attention to. So if you're complaining, he's a jerk. She's a witch. They don't like me. They think they did it. That's what your attention is. That's what you're praising.
You're
Whether it's a
magnifying,
complaint,
right? That's what praise means,
you're
to
magnifying.
magnify, which means you're
Yeah.
making it, you're expanding it, you're causing it to be greater,
Yep.
to be bigger.
You're just giving your attention to it.
Yep.
So give your attention to what you desire.
Yep.
They like me. They're nice to me. They're always friendly to me. Whatever it is you want to desire, experience, give your attention to that. Oh, love this.
Yes, yes. So we'll go to A-Town, then to Kevin.
Awesome.
A-Town. Did you have anything on this chapter, A-Town?
Yeah, indeed. Great share, Gigi. That was awesome. So right above where she read, just regarding, it says, I am is glorified when your highest concept of yourself is manifested. So, you know, again, it's just, for me, just kind of going in depth in regards to giving me a mental, I guess that mental picture of myself, where a lot of this resonation, a lot of course, the repetition, it's really being able to allow me to be able to, you know, like myself all over again. You know what I'm saying? In a way that I'm able to really, you know, kind of, yeah, fall back in love with myself, you know what I'm saying? In just the terms of getting to know this better self, you know what I'm saying? Now, okay, yeah, I like you now. Now you know, I like this vibe better than the worst case scenario vibe, you know what I mean? And so everything is just definitely resonating. I did get a lot actually from the little bit of the chapter, but definitely just liking all the shares too. Definitely getting some good, you know, some good information off that too.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Kevin, before I have you go, I'm going to have Sage go. Hello, Sage.
Happy Saturday, everyone.
Happy Saturday. How are you?
I'm okay. You know, usually when I come up to your panel, I'm all rainbows and sunshine. And I love it when people that think like we do have an opportunity to be challenged because we get to dig a little deeper. Mm-hmm. I'm challenged, and this conversation is right along the lines of what might be supportive of me. So my mom was moved into hospice this week. She suffered a stroke on Sunday. And I know that I can see her as healed. I know that I can see her as thriving. But I'm stuck in this place because I know that she wouldn't want to live a life where she didn't have all of her capacities. And the stroke was a major one. So the quality of life is questionable past this point. So while I want to see her as healed, I also feel this need to allow her to transition at her pace. And if she's ready to go, that I want to let her go. So I'm feeling that grief and looking for the balance between the pain that I feel and then seeing her well. At the same time, I feel like I'm also grieving the loss of my marriage. I can look at him in a certain way and see him as the man that I would need him to be to stay, but then I don't feel like I'm giving him the freedom to be who he is if I do that. And so I'm struggling with this very thing in terms of seeing people in a light, but also giving them the freedom to go about their journeys and at their own pace and at their own levels of understanding. This is I'm being vulnerable, panel.
Yes. I was thinking that same word. I was like, oh my goodness, thank you for your vulnerability. We
Yeah,
really
usually
appreciate it.
I'm usually sunshine and rays of light when I come up here, y'all, but I'm struggling.
I want Kevin to speak to you regarding this because I know he was able to manifest his grandmother was in the hospital and was given over to that she was going to transition. And I want him to speak to that. Because I haven't had the experience, so I don't want to speak in theory. I want you to talk to someone who's actually experienced it firsthand. Kevin, do you mind?
No, I don't mind at all. And when you shared that, that's exactly where my mind went to, was with that experience I had with my grandmother. So thank you for the courage of.
Oh wow, you went mute there, Kevin. Might
Sorry.
have got a phone call. Go
Yeah, I
ahead.
got a call came in. The I'll just share with you how it went, and I'll let you extrapolate how you feel it applies to your situation. Um, Now my grandmother has passed, but this wasn't one of the times. My grandmother was. I'm in Baltimore. I'm originally from Baltimore, Maryland, and my grandmother was sick, and I was working. I think I was about maybe 19 years old, and still living home with my mom. I hadn't bought my home yet. I didn't buy my home till a couple of years later, and my grandmother, to me, um, I felt like she was my everything. Actually, truth be told, I was closer to my grandmother than I was my own mom. And I remember coming home from work, and my mom was in the house, and she was so upset. And I could look at her face, and she was holding back the tears. And she asked me, had I gone to see my grandmother? And this was like maybe Monday. And I said, no. I said I was going to go see grandma this weekend when I get off of work. And my mother looked at me, and she said, I just came home from the hospital. If you're going to see her, you need to see her now. So I knew what that meant. So my knee-jerk reaction was to be afraid of losing my grandmother. That was my knee-jerk reaction. But then I came to myself. I said, any and everything that I had ever asked God for, He gave me. And that's not a stretch or an exaggeration at all. That is the God's heaven truth. Any and everything I asked for, I got. And I said, oh. And I didn't have to worry about a diminished capacity of anything. So I went upstairs, closed the door to my bedroom, and I got on my knees and I asked God, can I have more time with my grandmother? And miraculously, what do you think He said? He said, yeah, yes. And as soon as He said yes, I thanked Him. I got up, changed clothes, and went downstairs in the kitchen to fix myself something to eat. And while I was cooking something, my mom, I guess, heard me moving around in the kitchen, because she was upstairs in her bedroom. And she came downstairs and she said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm not doing anything. I'm cooking something to eat." She said, "I thought you were going to go see your grandmother, her mom." And I said, "I am this weekend when I get off of work." She was so angry with me. She couldn't even talk. She turned around, stomped up the stairs, and slammed her bedroom door. Not only couldn't she deal with the situation, she couldn't deal with me dealing with the situation. Cause I was happy go lucky because I knew what God said. I didn't give a flying whatever what anybody else thought. I knew my grandma was gonna be fine because God said she was gonna be that I could have her. And that weekend, when I was off of work and I was gonna go see her, she had been released from the hospital. And she was over my aunt, her daughter's house. And I went by and said hi, and we talked and had a nice time. Sage, there is no will outside of yours. Once you go to God, your higher self, and the answer is going to be yes. And just because the doctor may have said hospice, it's your belief. What do you want? If you're okay with letting her go at this moment because you feel that she's going to be here suffering and you don't want that for her, okay. If you want her here in a miraculous miracle way where she has all her faculties and all her quality of life, best quality of life, okay. It's what do you want? I can't answer that for you. I can tell you my experience because my grandmother was here for another 8 years or so. So it's what do you want? Because you can have whatever it is you want. If you made up your mind that you're okay with letting go and letting things be, let them unfolding the way they are, then that's okay too. There's no wrong answer to this. It's what do you want? It only matters what you want. Here's the good thing. You get to be selfishly unselfish. I know it's weird. I probably never heard that before. But it is a thing. It's a thing. To be selfishly unselfish.
Thank you, Kevin.
You're so welcome.
I appreciate you sharing your experience.
I hope it helps.
Gigi, did you want to say something?
Hi, sweetheart.
Hi.
I understand what you're going through. My mother is going on 10 years that she passed this October. So 2026 has been fun, but it's also been a little trying with that. I agree with Kev. However, in my experience, I knew that if I prayed and had faith, I know God always says yes, that she would be here. But I was thinking about her. And
Yeah.
again, this was my assumption about her. So I literally had to say one of the hardest prayers was that if she wants to go, then I'll let her go.
Yeah. And I think that's what I'm why I'm struggling, y'all. At Christmas, we were
Mm-hmm.
all sitting around and she gave me this catalog and she pointed to a white suit and said, I want this one. And I said, Mommy,
Yeah.
you have 5 white suits upstairs. You do not need another white suit.
Mm-hmm.
And she literally said, well, that'll be the last one. And I was like, what do you mean? She said, that's the one I want to be buried in. And this was her up and around doing things on her own. Like, you know, she was older, but she wasn't having any issues. So
Mm-hmm.
when she said that at Christmas time, I was, you know, I brushed it off like, girl, you know. And so I have this feeling that she has decided that she's
Yes.
ready.
Mm-hmm.
And I want her to journey peacefully, knowing that,
Mm-hmm.
you know, that we're not hanging on.
Right.
So that's exactly where I am. And I feel like I know that she wants to journey. And of course, I would love for her to stay. But it matters to me
Yeah.
more. It matters to me more that her heart's desires are fulfilled than, you know. So that's why it's such a tough spot.
I understand. I was the same way. And she was telling me back in 2015 that she was getting ready to go, and I brushed it off as well, and she was fine. And then she was in the hospital. She was having really bad pains, really bad pains. Pain medications weren't working anymore. The doctors were saying there's nothing they can do. So, you know, I spoke with her primary care physician, and I said if she's gonna pass, let's bring her home. So I put her favorite sheet on the bed. I made her bed the way she wanted it, put her in her favorite little nightgown. My husband and I even sang a song for her because we're musicians. And on that day that we brought her home, I was holding her hand, and I kind of had a vision of like seeing her, and she looked happy, and she was talking to me but not moving her lips. It's like she was talking to me mentally, and she was saying to me, if you want me to stay, I'll stay. And I responded to her back, and even though I was in the room with her, with my brother and everybody, I was having this conversation with her somewhere else. And I said, Mom, if you staying here means that you're not going to be coherent, I can't talk to you, I can't laugh with you, that you're just going to be bedridden, then no. If you want to stay, you can stay. If you want to go, you can go. We'll miss you. We'll learn to accept it. But if you want to go, I let you go. And then at that very moment, she took a very peaceful sigh and just this peaceful breath, and her face looked peaceful. I'm not going to lie to you, Sage. It was hard. And it's been 10 years. I've learned to accept it. But every now and then, I have my moments where I cry. And it's okay to cry. It's okay to mourn her. It's okay that if you hear one of her favorite songs and you start crying, because that happened to me. My mother's favorite Christmas song was Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. and I'm at Walmart crying to Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. People just, and I'd laugh too, but cry at the same time. And that's okay.
Yeah.
You learn to accept her passing. It'll always be there, but you'll learn to accept it. I'm not gonna lie. The first year, it's tough, but it gets better. And if that's where your heart is, if you're feeling that she wants to go, as hard as it is, I mean, it's up to you, because it's your reality. It's you're the writer of the script of the story. Whichever route you choose, know that it's the right one for everybody involved.
Toyia, I want to thank you again. I always do for this platform. I know that in this space, we like to keep the vibrations high. So I thank you for this moment of pause. There's so much love in the room, so much love in the chat. Thank you to everyone. I think that this is helpful for me because it lets me know that, it's okay for me to prioritize what I think that she would want in this time. And I love the idea, Kevin, of being selfishly unselfish. That's very helpful. I just can't thank everyone enough for loving on me, a complete stranger. And Toyia, thank you again for this pause. We'll circle back to that husband thing another day because that's definitely less important. But thank you so much, chat. Thank you, Gigi. Thank you, Kevin. And I am
Thank you,
Tam or
sweetheart.
Aid and everybody. Thank y'all.
So
Thank you.
welcome. So welcome.
Thank you, sweetie.
Thank you for sharing, because
Thank you.
you know, doing this platform for over a year or so, we've come across many reflections that have lost loved ones, that they're and it's been more so parents transitioning out of the physical back into, you know, the spirit. You know, the spirit is deciding to depart the body. And the scripture does say there's always a time to mourn. So never apologize for mourning, being able to physically be there with someone, right? We don't have to apologize for experiencing those feelings and wanting to see our loved ones in the way that we have always experienced them,
Yeah.
right? Which is fully aware, fully capable, you know, living their life. That's how you view her, right? And to the extent that that is believable, that's the experience you continue to experience now if you so choose to. But this is your world of assumption.
Yes.
This is your world of assumption. And your mother is playing a part in your reality. You get to tell the story however you see fit.
Yeah. I
However
think
you see fit,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And just own it and cry as many days. And sometimes it's going to be anger, sometimes it's going to be joy, sometimes it's going to be peace, and sometimes there may be disturbance. It's okay, because that's why we're here, to have the human experience.
Yes.
That's part of being human,
Yes.
fully embracing all of that and not being afraid to share that grief with someone, whoever you find connection with, whoever is there to help hold you up, and you can pour that out with no judgment, right? Because we all need a safe space to come to be free enough to be vulnerable.
Yeah. I think I started with my appreciation because a lot of times from the outside, people that think like us gives this persona of, you know, everything goes my way. I'm always in this place of joy and peace. And so for us that know that we're creating our own realities, to admit that my reality is not comfortable in this moment, you know, it provides, I don't know, I guess, a gateway for those that don't know what we know just yet. And yeah, like even when it's not happiness and rainbows, it's still a peace in knowing that all is well. So I like it when when I'm not okay, because most times I'm not. I am, you know, I'm very okay, and so it's just an opportunity to dig a little deeper. So yeah, I can't tell y'all how much I appreciate this. I feel like y'all should invoice me. This feels like a whole therapy session. So thank you all.
Because one thing we all know, we're all transitioning. This is finite, right? And what we can cherish is what we want to remember is how to cherish those times of the finiteness we get to experience here in the third dimensional plane, right? How we get those connections that we've made along our experience of being physical, right? And to hold those close and not to be ashamed of, yes, I don't want to let go of the physical. I like the physical. I love being able to touch, to smell, to hold, to kiss, right? I love the two-way conversation, the appearance of someone speaking back to me in their own voice, in their own unique expression of the divine. And I'm going to miss that. And it's okay. But you know that your mom is forever, that the body was just a physical representation of her unique expression of the one.
Yes.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean you're not gonna miss the touch. But maybe she comes, you know, if you decide that the transition is what's best for your story, she comes and kiss you with a butterfly.
Yeah.
Hear the birds singing in the morning, or a koi fish going, whatever, however you want to perceive it, because this your story, this your world. Never lose sight of that you're writing this story.
Thank you, Toyia.
You're welcome. This is why we have this community, right? Like, this community isn't from happenstance, right? Like, it serves its purpose because we want to be seen, we want to be heard, we know people care, but we want to see it in expression, right? It's one thing to intellectualize it, it's another thing to experience. And that's what spirituality is not about intellectualizing it. You know a thing mentally, as Neville says, through comparison. You know a thing spiritually through experiencing it, right? So you just don't want to talk about love. You actually want to be able to express it. You actually want to see it in form, in action, in deed, right? So love it, love it, love it. Oh, I'm glad that we could comfort you, and you comforting us, right? Where you're helping us, like, get a perspective on life and how to deal in these, these conversations that are just a part of our experience, right? And sometimes because it's not about what's right to say, right? Because sometimes words are limiting, right? Words can be so limiting, but you definitely will be in our heart and in our mind that whatever choice you make, there's no regret. There's no condemnation. There's no guilt. There's no shame. That whatever decision you make will be done in love. That's all I would do. Whatever decision is done in love. The decision that you can sleep well with at night. And so your decision is, I'm going to let my mom decide, and I'm going to talk to her. I want to know within my heart of hearts that whatever it ends up being is the right decision. Even if it appears that your mother's making a decision, know it's yours. But you can have the story that she made the decision.
Definitely the story I want to tell. Based on my mom and her personality, it's just like her to exit in this way, and I actually appreciate it. So yeah, I can't tell y'all how helpful this has been. I can jump on off of here, run on and see what the end gonna be now.
Beautiful. Oh, I love it. Love it. I mean, we could just see, we could hear it in your voice. That change was
Just
like,
like
oh
that.
man, look at
Just
that.
like that. Just like that.
Just like that.
Just like that. There it is.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Oh man. Yes, what I like this. I get this sentence outlined in this book. It says, "I am is glorified when your highest concept of yourself is manifested." Are you allowing your highest concept of yourself to be expressed? Because that's all manifestation is. It's an expression of the divine, right? From glory to glory to glory. So, yep, your highest expression. Man, it's amazing. Because the highest expression is what you cannot see. The highest expression is what you cannot see, which is your self-concept. Nobody knows what you're thinking. No one knows what you're thinking until you express it, until it takes on form. Then we get to see the manifestation of your thought. And so you want to put on the pruning shears of revision. The pruning, that's actually a lecture by Neville Goddard. The pruning shears of revision. That you get to decide what thoughts you're going to think, what feelings you're going to have. You are the operant power. This is your story to tell. It is your story to tell. Choose wisely, right? He says, prune your imagination by withdrawing your attention from all unlovely and destructive ideas and concentrating on the ideal you wish to attain. This means you have to learn how to control your mind. Control the thoughts. Choose. I said before you this day. Choose life. Choosing life is choosing love, choosing peace, choosing joy, choosing compassion, choosing empathy, right? Choosing harmony, choosing oneness. That's life. For I am the God of the living and not the dead. There's only life, and it is eternal. It just takes on different forms. Different forms.
You were talking about revision just now. It reminded me of the last episode of Stranger Things. I'm sure people have seen it by now. If
I
you
don't watch
haven't,
it. I have no idea. I've never watched it. So you can go ahead.
just
I don't
mute
plan
it.
on watching it either. I don't plan
Okay,
on
well,
watching it, so go ahead.
it's a good show. Well, you know, the girl that Mike, with the girl with all the powers, her name is 11. She sacrifices herself and she dies, so that way her friends and her family could be left alone. The government doesn't go after them anymore, and they can live their lives. So when they're all sitting together playing Dungeons and Dragons, and the show's pretty much based on Dungeons and Dragons, if you ever played that game, Mike revises what happened. He says she really didn't die. What happened was that her other friend did like like pretending that she was actually there when she really wasn't, and she moved to a place where there's lots of waterfalls, and she goes hiking, and she's happy there. So he revised, you know, even though she's gone, but in his mind it's not like she's gone. Like, he revised that she's somewhere and she's happy. So it's really your perspective, I guess, how you choose to see it, and how you choose to revise it. So, but yeah, I mean, Sage has really helped me with this. I like I just posted earlier. I said I manifested her somehow, because I was thinking about my mom, because like I said, she's going on 10 years, and I'm just going to look at it, you know, how it was shown to me that she's okay, that this is what she wanted, even though this is my story, but it's how she wanted it. So yeah. So thank you, Sage. I don't know if she's still there, but thank you. And thank you all. Thank you, Kev, too, for sharing.
Yes, yes, yes. That's it. That's it. Yes, so someone asked about their marriage, and I know Sage touched on that a little bit. So basically changed my assumption of my marriage. Yes, your marriage is a reflection of your beliefs about relationships. All of your relationships are reflections about your belief about it. No one has any free will in your reality. The only power they have is the power you give it, because it's the story that you're telling. Latoxi, did you have something to say? No, a lot of times people don't realize they off mute.
Oh, was I off mute? My bad.
That's but that lets me know if you want to say something. So when I see you off mute,
It must have been a mistake on my part. I'm listening.
Oh, no problem. No problem. Yeah, I know marriages transform, relationships transform the moment we decide they are different. The key to a changed relationship, whether it's a friendship, whether it's a partnership, whether it's a marriage, whatever relationship it is, forgiveness is a must, and so is repentance. So what is forgiveness? Forgiveness, I always say, is twofold. I like how Dr. Joseph Murphy broke it down. He says you turn around the word around and say give forth. That's what forgiveness is, to give forth. Give forth that which you would like to receive in return, which means you basically have to be the person that you want to see in the other. So it's your thoughts that you're thinking about the other. That's the script they're playing out in the marriage, in the relationship. So if you continuously say, well, my wife is this and my wife never does that and my wife just nags and my wife does, but whatever you're complaining about, guess what? You're right. So now you have to ask. It's always two truths and you have to choose your truth. Your truth is you're right or you're happy. And guess what? You can be both, or you can be either or. Many of you are choosing to be right rather than be happy. But you can be happy and right, because guess what? It's your story. So you can be right about your wife. You could be right about your husband and be happy too. Or some of you would rather be right and miserable. You're right. There are all the things that you're saying about them, but you're miserable. So why not just change what you're saying about them and choose to be right and happy? Be right that they're understanding, they're compassionate, they're supportive, they got their own thing going on. I support what they're doing, and we come together. They got their own thing, and I got my own thing, and then we come together. It's a great thing. Like, you really are the author of your reality. Go ahead, Kevin. Did you want to say something?
No, I mean, you were saying everything I wanted to say, so you was
Oh, okay.
spot on. You was spot on.
Okay. And so to forgive, the other forgive is a forgetting.
Yes.
You cannot say that you forgive and you remember everything they did. You're holding them in the place you don't want them to be. Oh, I could forgive, but I won't forget, within you haven't forgiven. Because forgive, it means to literally forget. You cannot hold them in the same state and expect things to be different. So this is where repentance comes in. You're going to have to change your mind about how you're perceiving your reality. They go together.
You have to take your energy away.
Where energy isn't going anywhere, you're directing the energy.
Right.
Because where are you directing your energy to?
Meaning your attention.
Right. You're giving your attention to the unwanted.
Right.
Which is your energy. Give your attention to what you want, which is also your
energy.
Attention is where are you focusing? What are you talking about? That is your energy. Where your focus, that's what's going. What you continue to resist persists.
That's at that point. And that's what he was talking about in the book.
Mm-hmm.
You're resisting rather than let it flow and continue to move. The victory is not in the fight. The victory is in letting go.
Yep. You gotta be loose and let it go. What you loose on earth shall be loose in heaven.
Amen.
What you bind on heaven shall be bound on earth, right? So whatever you do within will be shown up without.
Absolutely.
And it's not even about who's more aware. It's about what are you choosing. But that's why we're talking about the power of awareness, right? Because we're about telling people how to become more aware of what they're doing. Because what they're doing is creating their reality. We want you to be aware of what you're thinking, because thoughts are things. They don't become things. They are things.
They are things.
They are the people in your world. They are the situations. They are the circumstances. They are the happenstances. They are the accidents. They are the coincidences. They are the ideas. They are the emotions. They're all of it. Your thought is the creator in you. That's God. In the beginning was the word, was the intention, was the idea, was the perception, was the thing, whatever. In the beginning.
It all started with thought.
You are a sum total of your thoughts, your soul. Your soul, body, and spirit, right? The spirit is the breath, it's the essence, it's the I am. The soul is the thought, it's your sum total of the thoughts that you think. which is your expression in life.
That's what you manifest, right?
Your body is containing the soul, which is your body is expression of your beliefs.
That's it.
So when you think about it, to forgive is kind of to revise. Like you're renouncing that instead of resisting.
It's the same as repentance, right? It goes together, right? Because repentance is revision, right? You have to change your mind, which in order to forgive, you got to change how you think about the person. Which means you have to forget. Yep, you got to forget the old state. So then
you got to see the new state instead of remembering the old state. So by forgetting the old state and focusing on on the new state, that's the forgive. Look at
you cannot occupy two states, right?
Exactly.
You cannot be physically, we're talking mentally, right? The mentally the body can be here, right? And your mind can be somewhere else, right? That's the power that you have. You can be here physically. I can be in this chair, but mentally I could be, on the shores of Hawaii. I could be up there over by the Pacific Ocean, got my toes in the sand, got me a coconut and drinking me a pina colada. But I could be sitting here while you all talking, my mind can be elsewhere. While you're all here listening, you see my body here, my mind can be wherever I decide to send it. That's where he says, I go to prepare a place for you. And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again and receive you unto myself. So if I'm in Hawaii mentally, I must go there physically. Because where I am, there you shall be also. So you got to decide where place do you want the body to go. So do you want the body to experience a happy marriage? Done. It only takes a decision, and you remaining what? Faithful to that decision, which means if you're going to stay with the person that you decided to share this life with, and you want it to be something spectacular, then you're going to have to change the way you think. I'm not saying you got to go you don't even have to go talk to your spouse about nothing. There does not have to be no meeting of the minds. The only meeting the mind that needs to happen is within you. You don't have to do anything but change your mind. That's it. Decide that this is an amazing marriage. Like, you have to be honest with yourself. When you think about your significant other, what do you think about? Be honest. Are you a nagger and a complainer in your mind? Man, they don't never do nothing right. They don't never think of me. They're so inconsiderate. Oh my goodness, they always spending money without telling me. They always You just complaining and writing a script. I said, I knew it. I know you damn right, because you blew it. You wrote it in. You said it was so. That's why it's so. I remember you say, first one knew it, blew it. Yeah. You knew it, you blew it. You wrote it into the script. You wrote it into your life. It's you. All you got to do is decide that life can be different, and it will be. So you got to build the person up, because here's the thing. You're the thinker, right? You're the only one having the thought. So the things you're saying about your spouse, you're really saying about you. Why? Because you're the only thinker. You're the only thinker. So everything you're saying about the spouse is what you're really saying about you. So you don't trust your spouse, you just don't trust you. You can't, you don't think that your spouse lifts you up, is never there for you. You can't depend on them. You can't depend on you. You're never there for you. Because see, like attracts like. What you see in the other, you actually see in yourself, because there is no other. They're a mirror. Now understand this. When I say they're the mirror, right? I'm not saying you're creating a what I call a Frankenstein, right? You're not building Frankenstein's monster. They don't need to think exactly like you. They don't need to do everything exactly the way you would do it. They don't have to talk exactly the way, because they are still an individualized expression of the one. Love sees beauty in all things. That's what love does. Love accepts the unique expression that they're showing you of you. So love is about accepting the other to be an individualized expression of the one. So they're you just pushed out, given a different perspective of you. So allow them to love you the best way they know how to love you. And if you need them to do something different than what they're doing, just say it in your mind. I mean, I really would like if my husband would just send me flowers just because. Then one day you get flowers just because. Like, damn, I just thought about that. I didn't even have to tell him. He just sent it to me. Sometimes I just want my girl to just plan a date for us. Damn, she actually planned a date. I just thought that in my and damn, like, yes, that's how it happens. It happens like that. So just tell the story you want. The power, be aware of what you're saying about your significant other. Your awareness, because when you realize, oh, they nag and complain because I wrote in the script that they nag and complain, and all I have to, just like the case history that Neville gave us in the seventh chapter about the woman who said her employer would never say anything nice about her. He had all these negative things to say about her, and he said, oh, that's because you arguing with him in your mind, right? And she had to admit, oh yeah, I do argue. I will argue with him all the time. And then what did she do? She started hearing praises from him all the time, morning, noon, and night. And then in a week's time, it flipped on his head. The moment she decided, oh no, my employer actually praises me, actually loves everything I do, actually is supportive of my designs. And he had no choice but to confirm what? The change she made in herself. Where was the change made? In her mind. Her thoughts were the change. Her assumptions were the change. Her assumptions were her attitudes toward life. Yeah, because the moment you decide to, the moment you decide to do this, it becomes a part of you, and it becomes your, as we like to call, second nature. It becomes the nature of you become the nature of the divine. It becomes who you are. And then you don't have to try to you don't have to be so super focused on it, right? It's just like when you decide to drive a car. Once you decide to drive the car, right, in the beginning, it's a practice, right? Until you become a driver. Now you don't have to think about it because now it's muscle memory, right? You trained it, like Gigi said earlier. You're just not using your muscle of love. Are you using your muscle of love? Are you rehearsing being loving? Like, and ask yourself, what does that mean to me? To be loving and to be able to receive love. Like, what does that look like? How does me receiving love, which means me being love, what does that look like? Hey, Sage.
Hey, y'all, just real quick, because, ooh, this thing is real good, and it don't work unless you work it. Remember, I started, for those of you that have been here, with grieving my mom and my marriage. And then I'm listening to you talk, and I realized, damn, I've been writing that into the script. I've been saying how he's not this and he's not that, and I've been doing that. And I can change that. In real time, I can change that. Y'all, just this moment, like between the time that I called and now, he then lovingly came outside and said, hey, when you finish up, can we talk? Yep, quick testimony. I'm just saying, it don't take long. Listen, it don't take long for that thing to turn around. All you got to do is decide. It don't work unless you work it. I love y'all.
I love you too. Thank you. Woo! That's it. That's it.
Yes, Sage. Yes.
Love it. Love it.
Love it. Love it. Just
And
work
we
it.
hear this all the time, right? We've had people come through here many, many times, right? The usual suspects like Gigi, Cheryl, Kevin, the Toxie, Mia, A-Town, Key, Sage, every once in a while, right? But then we get those ones that we didn't even know they were in the room. They come up on the panel. Oh, Toyia or Miss T or T, I've been listening to you for 4 or 5 months. And I just gotta report back. I just have to report back. I gotta tell you what I've been doing with this truth. Application of this law of mind. and many of you that have been rocking with me since the beginning, what I say hasn't changed. It may has expanded. I have maybe gained more clarity, more revelation, but accountability of self, that ain't never changed. I've never moved away from that. I've never moved the goalposts on that. That has never changed. Being accountable. Now, I've had deeper revelations of what that looked like, right? I had realizations like, oh, we still want to keep Satan's and demons and devils on mind. We just call them evil spirits, low vibrational beings, NPCs, and energy vampires. Oh, we just gave the devil a different name. We just gave Satan a different name. But we still scapegoat in reality because we don't want to take full accountability that we created it. So it has to be something outside me because that's not me. That's not who I am. Then who the hell is it? This your monster you created. Just change the monster. Be something wonderful. I think that's someone's YouTube channel. I think somebody told me about it. Be something wonderful. I think there's a guy that's talking about be something wonderful. Decide to be something wonderful. Yep, it works. It works. It works.
I have a testimony.
Go ahead.
I haven't shared one in a while. So long story short, I work for myself. I have like my own business or whatever. So anyway, a potential client had reached out to me like in December, and they wanted my services. They wanted me to do some training for them, and everything seemed fine. Whatever. But I don't know if I outpriced myself or what. I don't know. But anyway, it took them a long time to get back to me, and finally I followed up with them this past week. And they're like, oh, sorry, we're waiting until Q4. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm a multimillionaire. How is this possible? How is this possible? Because this money's supposed to be rolling in, you know what I mean? But at first I felt like, I didn't feel bad, but I just, in my mind, I'm just like, I really do want like more clients. I want to have like more stuff coming in for me. Mm-hmm. And I'm a multimillionaire. So the money has to start rolling in at some point, although I do accept lottery winnings as well. Period. I'm manifesting that too. But long story short, the day after this client told me, oh no, sorry, we're waiting until Q4. Someone reached out to me on LinkedIn who works with a much, much, much bigger consulting company. And they wanted me they basically are going to interview me on Monday to do a contract with them for 2 months. That's double what I currently make where I'm contracting now. Yes, and it's full time. So I'm like, oh, I could do that. Yes. That's exactly what I'm trying to do. So, long story short, it was, I got into this mode where I was like, no, I'm not taking this as like this is like me suffering because of something I did, or I finally was like locked in. I was like, no, that's that's not how we live in this life. I deserve this. I'm getting it. This is what I want to do. Like, this is how I want to do it. So, and then like the next day, someone just randomly reached out to me on LinkedIn. So I'm really, really like, it's a much, much bigger company. Like, it's a much more well-known company. So it's a consulting company. So I just like, well, yeah, yes, that's exactly what I'm looking for. That's what I'm talking about.
Yes, love it.
Oh. Yes, thank you.
Yes, with Toxic, go girl.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness. Amazing, 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 amazing. Everyone is just growing. Everybody's grander. Grander. Like my Instagram is growing. Like I went from like I have 400. Like I would like every day I'm getting followers. Right. It was like I would do Instagram and I would just post, randomly or whatever, and then I guess I would take what I was posting on TikTok, the order. I would post on the reels or what have you. But for a long time, I wasn't like really getting any engagement. And it's like now I can see like in the past, like 2 or 3 weeks, I've gained about, how many, about 1,400 followers. And to me, that's a lot because I was like at 400. And a lot of it, they're not friends or whatever. Because I used to sometimes think like, is Instagram anything like Facebook? But it's really nothing like Facebook, even though it's owned by Meta. They're not really the same type of, I mean, they're the same, but different, right? Like Facebook is family and friends, people you went to high school with, and people you might have worked on jobs with. You know, you send out a friend request, and because 20 other people know you, they'll accept it, or because this person or that person, they'll reach out to you and they'll want to be friends with you, right? But with Instagram, it's really, people are really leaning into what we talk about here. What we talk about here, and I'm getting the engagement with what I share here. Whereas Facebook, because the people know me, you know, they know me, right? They know me from church. They know me. They're my family. They're friends of friends of friends of friends, right? You know, it's a different type of algorithm, right? Because that's your Facebook. Facebook is like your neighborhood, right? It's like Facebook is like your neighborhood, whereas Instagram is like when you go out of the state and you meet people in another state, right? And then you got TikTok and YouTube. They like worldwide. They like out of the country. They like global, right? Not saying that TikTok and I'm not saying that Facebook and Instagram can't be that, but that's not how you view it, or that's not how I view it. I'm not gonna say you, speak for myself. That's not how I viewed it, or whatever. But I'm even changing my mindset around that because I have to stop making the apps be different when they're all really the same, right? They're all really the same. I have to start saying, well, this one, they only want to hear this, and this one, no, they all want to hear what I got to say. People ears are itching. People lives are yearning. They want transformation. They want elevation. They want a greater lived experience. And I got the goods. I know how to break this down for it will ever be broken down, right? Like I
Yes, you do,
simplify
bestie.
this. Thank you. Yep. Changed my name. Yep, I changed my name on Facebook and on Instagram. I changed my name to that's my first name, my middle name, Toyia Janine. So that's
It
and
goes
then
to show. It goes to show that where your attention, you go where your attention goes. So the moment, like my girl says just now, just the moment she changed that attention, changed that thought, her man came back, and I've told you guys before too my experience, and because I'm keeping him in the new script, he's following the new script.
yes.
So even though sometimes, you know, a little shallow water wants to rear his ugly little head, instead of engaging in that, I go, no. He's amazing. He's great. He's nice. He's sweet. And it's funny how when you're not thinking about the how, the when, or anything, how it just automatically just, it's beautiful.
It's beautiful. Cause like we worldwide, y'all. Y'all better stay on this train, cause we going up. It's our moment. Like it's time to be
Moving on up to
golden.
the east side.
Yes. And y'all can say, I remember when I was there from the beginning. I remember Toyia, you only had 5,000. You had less than 1,000. I remember when you was, you know. Now I gotta come up on the panel to be heard, to be seen.
I love it. I love it. And the way you show it and teach it, I mean, if I can clone you, I would, but I'm okay with one of you.
Yes. So make sure you guys follow me on Instagram and on YouTube and on Facebook. Toyia Janine, that's my name on Facebook. That's my name on Instagram. That's it. Follow. Join the Facebook group, the private group, where you can go over and share your thoughts and your, if you want to ask questions, we are more than capable of assisting you and helping you, Find out what it is that you want to experience in this life. You know, you can have whatever you want. You can have it. You just got to name it and claim it, as they say. Name it and claim it. That's really all you have to do is name it and claim it. You don't have to do all this extra stuff. All of these, you don't have to do anything extra, but decide that you can have it and you will. You know, the vision comes as a result of decision, right? I believe Gigi said it this when she talked about her neural pathway highway. And, you know, because
Pathway highway, baby.
right, you have to understand that words are pictures. So even if you can't see it in your mind, you can't picture it. Well, I can't see myself driving the car. Oh, I can't see myself on the airplane. It's not necessary. It's not necessary. Just decide that you're flying first class and keep deciding that you're flying first class. Right? Like Latoxi didn't have to see the client. She didn't have to know what that looked like. She had to just decide I'm a multimillionaire, and because I'm a multimillionaire, I have multimillionaire clients. Like the clients are going to reflect the money that I say I make. I don't know if did you envision it? I love it. Go ahead, come on with the period. Let's hear you say period.
Listen, what I've been envisioning, honestly, was winning the lottery. So
Okay, well there you go.
Like what I'm gonna do with my money and how I'm gonna divvy it up, and then what lawyer I'm gonna get, and like what CPA I'm gonna get, and you know who's gonna be, you know, my cook and my cleaner, and that's what I've been thinking about. But I'm like, in the meantime,
I think we all kind of just want that soft life. Like, come on with the, you know, bring the chef in, bring in the house cleaners, make the house, you know, 3 times what we have right now.
Absolutely.
Right? Like, yes, when we travel, we ain't worried about, you know, how much something costs and all of that. We not checking for prices. We just booking it.
Yes, like
We just booking it.
I didn't even say I went to New York for New Year's, and it was on my bucket list for the longest time to have my own driver, because although I love driving, I don't like always driving places, if that makes sense. Like I like a long distance road trip type thing, but I don't like to drive myself around the city and stuff like that. So anyway, long story short, I was headed to the airport in the morning, and then I knew I was running late. I was pushing it. But I'm like, I never missed a flight. I'm not going to start now. Anyway, long story short, my driver takes me to the airport. He's gunning it, trying to get me to the airport. And I told him, please, like, don't worry. Like, if I miss it, it's fine. I ended up missing my flight. And then, so the guy is like, you know, he's like, oh, like, why don't you just text me when you want to go back, if you're going back today, and I'll just come pick you up. And I'm like, oh, perfect. So now I have a driver, and like, he drives me around places. Like, he's so cool. Like,
look at you, now you got a driver. You know, that's what my daughter is manifesting.
Yeah,
she's like, she does not want to drive her. She's like,
drive around the city. I like to go out and party, so I'm not in the driving. I'm not always drivable.
She don't even want to drive to her job. She like her job like 5 minutes. She's like, I need Uber money. I just need an extra $500 a month. So Uber, and then she said, I'm gonna be driving to work. She's like,
with her. I live close to my job, so I can actually walk to where my old job. I live close to my old job, and I work from home now. But I mean, I was wanted to drive. I'm like, you know what? Now I got a driver, so if I ever want to go somewhere, I can just text him. Like, that is amazing. Now, eventually, I want the driver on standby, so whenever I decide to leave, I can leave. But I mean, you know, I don't have anything to complain about. I live in India. It's very chill. There's no traffic here. There's no traffic here, but I still, you know, prefer, you know, that way.
Yes. Say what you want. See yourself with it. Talk as though it's happening, right? You got to talk as though it's happening. Live it in your mind. Like John C. said, get somebody else to do it. Yes, I'm not, you know, I want to be chauffeured around, but I have my own personal chauffeur. He likes to drive.
Period. We love that. We love it. Cannot complain about that.
Oh my goodness. We just got to decide. We got to be brave enough, have the courage enough to decree and declare that the life we want, right? And we had to like retrain ourselves to stop thinking we have to make something happen. That we just have to decide that it's all the doing as a result of the being, not trying to make it so. We're doing because it already is so, right? When I post, I'm already posting to millions. I'm not posting to whatever this 3D is showing me, right? When I speak, when I talk, I'm talking to thousands in this chat, regardless of what this number says, right? I'm talking to thousands, right? You got to say like when I show up, when I do this, I'm doing this for the masses. I'm reaching souls all over the world, right? That's how you have to live it, because I'm not going to be different because it's more people in here, right? Like the message is not going to change. It's going to remain the same. Hey, Connie, you said your middle name is Janine. Cool. Hey, Norier, how are you?
I'm good. I did have somewhat of a success story because I had, I think it was last year or the year before, me and one of my friends fell out really bad. Like we fell out really bad. It was horrible, and I kind of just seen it coming, but I wasn't really paying attention to it. But I asked her, if she needed anything from me. She was just really frustrated, and it was just a bad fallout. It really did hurt me. I tried to act like it didn't, but it did hurt me, and I was kind of holding on to it a little bit. But eventually, I said, time heals wounds. But I seen her last night, and she pulled me to the side, and she apologized,
Mm.
and that it actually did heal something in me because I knew that she just needed space for the moment, and I took it and I said I'm gonna let her have her space. I didn't be mean to her or nothing, but it did hurt me, and I was trying to be like a stone wall, act like it didn't hurt a little bit, but I just kept moving. I kept, it helped me realize I do, because I used to always say I don't have no friends, I don't have no friends. So when we broke up, of course I'm trying to be dramatic saying I don't have no friends, but after me and her stopped hanging out so much, we were hanging out very closely together. I realized how many friends I actually had. I have a friend, I've been friends with her for 10 years. She's like a
Mm.
sister to me, so I never really thought about it like that. We talk
Mm.
about everything. People just start coming out the woodworks being so, and I changed my mind. And this is
Yeah.
before I even came across you. I changed my mind about my friendships and my ideals about friendships and life and relationships and everything, and it changed so much. So when she came up to me last night and she apologized, I was like, oh my, and my heart warmed a little bit, and I was like, I needed that, and it really healed something in me. So to me, that's a success story because
Yes.
it really, I wasn't expecting it, and I
Mm-hmm.
had let it go, and I was, I just let her have her space, and I'd be watching her, and I think of there was never no bad blood,
Mm-hmm.
but I just knew she needed a space, and I didn't continue to tell the story of us being, oh, we fell out, we're horrible, we're good. We're living life separately, and that's beautiful, and that's fine. And I'm glad she's good now, and I'm good now, and I always support her no matter what. Anyway.
Beautiful. Love to hear that. Yeah. Yes. Oh, I love that. Love that. I know, because some people, say like, because I meet, because I get DMs and emails from people from the different platforms, and sometimes you hear people say, it's lonely, I'm married, but I don't, nobody really gets me, nobody really understands me, I don't really have anyone to talk to about this and share this with, or have you. And it's just like you just really have to change that narrative about being lonely, because as long as as long as you have I am, you're never alone. And so you just have to decide that, no, I have friends, I have someone, or even if it's just one other person. It don't have to be like
Hmm.
a tribe of people, right? But if you just have that one person that you can go out and just be yourself with, outside of the judgment of, well, you don't understand that this world is a matrix. You don't understand that it's that. You're like, that doesn't have to be the conversation every time you meet up,
Yes.
link up with someone, right? It doesn't have to be you trying to get them to see that the world is an illusion. Like, learn to just be able to be present, enjoy the moment, be present in the moment. If they're saying something quote unquote negative, or they're seeing like they're Debbie Downers, just change it in your mind and decide that, well,
Yes.
actually they can see the best of life. Maybe they actually can see how good life is to them. Like, just change the story that they're telling in your mind, and then you'll see it reflected back to you.
Yes, and she was actually coming to me last night. She said she missed how easy I was to talk to, and then I would listen. And I said, you know what, I've learned a lot. And she was kind of complaining, saying she was in a bad space. And I took one of the other. I said, you're only in a bad space because you keep saying you are. You're
Yep.
in a great space. You're
Yep.
fine, just like I'm fine. It's
Yep.
beautiful. Life is beautiful. I said you got to believe that. If you don't believe that, then you're gonna get whatever you believe. It was kind of hard, but something you were saying too. Yeah, you don't have to have the awareness conversation with everybody. So everybody can't handle it, and I have learned that too. Just like you talking about relationships. It's me and like I said, I don't even really like to continue to talk about a situation. I experience it, then I change it. I just because I experienced it, I assess why I experienced it, and I know why. Me, in my head, I can accept that. But now I
Yep.
gotta change it, and it's really not even all I gotta do is start talking about it to myself differently. I've done it on other things, so now I do it on this thing. But when you talk about that, it really is that simple to just change the way you see the people and enjoy them for who they are. And if you can't enjoy them for who they are, just don't hang with them no more.
That's a you problem.
Yeah,
You're the
just
problem.
don't.
You're
Just
the
remove
problem, not them.
yourself. Because I want to love people who they are. I don't like hearing anybody say, "Oh, my life is horrible." I don't like to hear that. But
Because as
all I'm
much
gonna
as
do
you
is
want
say,
to change the
"No, it's
other
not."
person, do you want someone go around trying to change you? See, here's the thing: we want to change
No,
other people, but if somebody else is trying to do the very thing we're trying to change about them, and they trying to change about us, we wouldn't like it. We would not like it. We
that's
won't want
true.
nobody trying to change us. But
No,
we think,
you
oh,
are
we
right.
want to go and trying to change everybody, and then get mad at somebody. Well, you this and what? Clutching your pearls. That's how you see me. You look at me that way. Oh my god.
Let them have it. Just let them have it. And you want them to learn your. If you really go through life, learn your own lessons. You learn them a lot easier to me. If you let some stuff happen, and you be like, oh, I need to change that. I need to change that. I don't need nobody to tell me I need to change it because I ain't gonna get it till I'm in the situation
We're so
anyway.
busy caught up in trying to make things wrong instead of make things happy. Stop
Yeah,
trying to make things wrong and look for ways to be happy.
that too.
So I'm gonna
Mhm.
close out the live because we got book club. We'll start back again next Saturday, guys. And we'll be reading chapters 9, 10, and 11. 9, 10, 11. 9 is preparing your place. 10 is creation. And then 11 is interference. Every chapter, like Gigi said, mighty but tiny but mighty. They've been packed with power, packed with so much awareness, which is the great title for the book. Awareness is key because if you don't know what you're doing, how can you change it? If you don't realize that we think that I'm a really positive person, I really see it, and then you sit there and do an uncritical assessment of your thoughts, you will come to the realization you ain't as nice and as positive as you think you are. You ain't as a great joy to be around as you think you are. So be honest with yourself. And the only thing because you're not doing the assessment to beat yourself up and beat yourself down and be like, oh my goodness, I can't believe I think that way. Oh my goodness, I can't believe it. No, you're only paying attention so you can change it, not so you can condemn yourself. There is therefore now no condemnation. So we're not operating in remorse, regret, shame, and guilt. You don't need to beat yourself up about your thoughts. Because many of your beliefs were given to you. Somebody told you to think that way. Somebody told you to see yourself that way. And yes, you accepted it. You trusted them. You thought they knew better. You thought they had the keys to success. You thought they knew the road to life. You thought and then now you know they didn't know no more than you did. They had it wrong just like you did. They thought that life was a struggle, life was hard, life was difficult. They played their role in your life of limitation. But now you're unlimiting yourself. This is what you're doing. The whole purpose of enlightenment is to unlimit yourself. Take off the limitations and step into greatness. And you can't step into greatness complaining about what you're not. You step into greatness by proclaiming that I am. I am. Whatever I say I am. Who are you saying that I am? I am. I'm amazing. I do have a gift. I am articulate. I am confident. I am capable. I am abundant. I am successful. I have more money than I know what to do with. I'm a giver and I also receive. I give with grace, I receive with grace. I see beauty in all things. Even if they can't see the beauty in themselves, I see the beauty. I lift them up out of the state of depression and put them in a state of love, of joy, of peace. I stop seeing my parents. I stop seeing my children. I stop seeing my significant other as less than who they are. And I decide to lift them up in consciousness. If I be lifted up in consciousness, which means if I lift up a standard of love, peace, joy, happiness, success, then I should what? Draw all men unto me. Lift up the standard. Stop going down there when they go low. Yes, you go high. You go high, like Obama said. You go high. As Abraham Hicks say, you go down there, you got to come up here because I'm not coming down to you. I don't wallow in the mud. I sit on the mountaintop. And I'm lifting you up with what? In consciousness. Because where I am, you shall be there also. Right? The rising tide lifts all boats. So rise in consciousness, rise in your awareness. Oh no, ain't no such thing as being arrogant. There's no such thing. As we said, go listen to Beyonce's song Ego. Yeah, ego so big, I must admit, I have every reason to feel like I'm that bitch. Ego so strong. If you didn't know, I don't need no beat. I can sing it with piano. Like what? We not playing small. Those who achieve great things had to see themselves as great. See yourselves as great. Remember, no one's judging you but you, so stop judging you. Then the world won't judge you. It's like if you decide to post and decide to become a content creator and you're only searching out what people, the naysayers, and you only want to magnify those who don't agree with you. I don't know how long you're gonna last being a content creator. Because if you're focused, if you're letting the compliments build you and the detractors discourage you, you ain't built for this. Because you got to know who you are without the comments. See, you could come in here and never compliment me and I could care less because your compliments don't make me who I am. I make me who I am. You don't never have to agree with me. I don't care if nobody ever agreed with me. I know it to be true because I know the experience I've had. I know my world is different because of the way I think. So I don't need anyone to build me up. I build myself up. I don't need anyone to support me. I support myself. But because I support myself and I build myself up, what my world has to reflect it back to me. Why? Because my world is my mirror. My world is my mirror. And so when I get the random Christian that may come on Instagram and start telling me how, the Satan, the Lord rebuke you, I say your rebukes don't work here, right? And I always laugh, and I send laughing emojis and crying emojis. Why? Because laughing, crying emojis. Because why? you just can't take it serious. Like you can't let the virtual reality be greater than your mind, right? And you have to understand that everybody just ain't ready to hear this. And don't be afraid to say that. It's okay. You don't have to, you're not ready to receive this message, then don't receive it. It's okay. I'm still going to wish that you get your prayers answered, even if you don't believe they can be answered. So next week, guys, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, chapters 9, 10, and 11. I really appreciate all of you for coming. Like I said, we're going up, y'all. We up. We already there. We're not going anywhere. We're already there. We're already living the best life. We're already living the golden life, whatever that looks like, right? Latoxi has her million. She has her winning lottery ticket. A-Town, he's global. Cheryl, she's her finances are even make her head spin. And Kevin, yes, is continually transforming millions of minds with this knowledge, with this truth, the truth that makes you free, right?
Amen.
And I'm doing all of that. You say amen.
Amen, sister.
Amen. 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 You got to know it. You got to know it. You got to build yourself. You got to talk in that mirror like they said Michael Jackson was doing, and look himself in the eye. Whatever you need to do to remind yourself of how great you are. Maybe you're scripting it. Maybe you're just seeing it in your mind. Maybe you plan it out in your home. Maybe when you drive in your car, you saying, your affirmations and you really getting lost in them. Like you really know it. Like you really feel it. Like you really, like you know that you know. You want to get to that place like you know that you know. That you know. That's the place you want to be. Like this isn't performative, right? As A-Town was saying earlier, this ain't no performative. Like this ain't for show. I don't care if you don't ever believe what I see. Like you gonna be like the angel told Mary. Don't tell the world. Don't tell no one, but go show John. John is the world. I can't tell you, but sometimes you gotta tell people because they be like, that was for chance. That was luck. No, boo. I told you that this was greatness you were looking at. So don't be surprised when you see greatness. Because I told you before it happened. So that when it happened, you too may believe. That you're looking at greatness right here, right now. So don't be shocked when you're able to touch, feel, and see this greatness. What do you want to say, Kevin?
Yeah, I got a case of the can't help it. I can't help but be great. I got a case of the can't help it. I can't help but be great.
You're talking to greatness.
And that's the truth and the whole truth.
Walk it like I talk it. I
Amen.
walk like this cause I can back it up. Yeah, I talk like this cause I can back it up. Hey.
What did Kanye say before we had it? We used to imagine before we had it. Living a good life.
Living a good life. Hey. Look. Walk in your abundance, walk in your inheritance. You were never meant to earn the blessing. You were only to receive the blessing. Be in the state of receptivity. Know that you are the heir to the throne. That you were born into royalty, right? So when someone's born into a life, do they have to earn it? Like, right? What did Paul remind us? We are heirs to the throne. Heirs, which means it's bestowed upon you. You don't have to when you're born into it, You don't have to do anything to get it. It's your birthright to be great. You just have to accept it. So until next time, guys, have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. If you're anywhere in the Midwest, stay warm. Oh my goodness, it has been a deep freeze over here in the Midwest, boy. I don't know what's going on in the East Coast and the South, huh?
It's cold.
It's cold. It's cold. It's so cold they had to close the schools on Friday.
Oh my goodness.
And my husband took off work. He said, "Yeah, I don't gotta go."
Oh,
You know, he
wow.
work outside. He fixes on construction equipment. He's like, "Yeah, I ain't gotta go. I don't have to go work in that."
I don't blame him. My goodness. Yeah, it's 10
Yeah.
degrees here too, Carol. It's 10 degrees, about to be 2 degrees.
Oh my goodness.
The whole situation.
Yep. So, all right, guys. Talk to you Wednesday. Manifesting Wednesday. See you Wednesday, guys. And then Saturday, 9, 10, and 11.
What?
Bye. Well, go ahead. Go ahead. What you gonna say?
Is it 7 on Wednesdays or is it
5 p.m.
5 Central? Okay.
Yep. And I know it's 6 o'clock your time, right?
Yes. Okay.
Yep.
Perfect.
Yep. So
Thank you.
yeah, thank you guys. Bye.